Alston Telephone Company and R&J Broadcasting Incorporated is proud to present to you this broadcast on yourliveevent.com.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We have baseball for you on yourliveevent.com. The Hankinson Hurricanes are in town to take on the Babe Ruth Kindred Vikings from Varsity Field in Kindred. Beautiful weather day, and I'm Mike Bernier along with Wendy Bernier.
Good evening.
We got baseball for you. We got a doubleheader tonight. It's a 7-inning counter game followed by a 5-inning non-counter game. And we'll start with the lineups very quickly for the Hankinson Hurricanes under Coach Tanner Carlson. Leading off and playing at shortstop is Cannon Falk. Catching and batting second will be Camden Spinks. Batting third and pitching will be Tyson Falk. Batting cleanup and playing over at third base is Damon Mauk. Batting fifth and playing at second base is Jacob Wallach. Batting sixth and playing at first base is number 25, Connor Mauk. Batting seventh and playing in center field, Gage Coomer. Batting eighth and playing in right field, Isaiah Hentz. And batting ninth and playing in left field is Zane Hentz. So it's Falk, Spinks, Falk, Mauk, Wallach, Mauk, Coomer, Hentz, and Hentz. So a lot of relatives on the Hankinson Ball Club. Leading off for the Kindred Vikings, this is a lineup under Coach Nick Eggman. Jeremiah Doctor assisting. Batting first and playing at second base, number 21, Jackson Schliemann. Batting second and the designated hitter tonight, welcome back to Derek Stone. Batting third and playing in center field, number 14, Jack Savageau. Batting cleanup and pitching, number 9, Teague Erdman. Batting fifth and getting a start out in right field is Eli Mack. Playing shortstop and batting sixth is Carter Grunwald. Batting seventh and playing at third base is Isaac Johnson. Batting eighth and playing at first base, Trayton Teberg. And batting ninth and doing the catching tonight is Sam Bernier. Jacob Lindemann will be DH'd for. He'll get the start out in left field. So the lineup is Schliemann, Stone, Savageau, Erdman, Mack, Grunwald, Johnson, Teberg, Bernier, with Lindemann out in left field. So starting on the mound for the Kindred Vikings is Teague Erdman, and his battery mate will be Sam Bernier. And getting the start for the Hankinson Hurricanes is Tyson Falk, and his battery mate will be Camden Spinks. It's time now to take a break. We'll be back with first pitch in about a minute and a half on yourliveevent.com.
Green Earth Landscaping offers a full range of services, including commercial and residential landscape design and installation, maintenance and sprinkler services. From outdoor kitchens to patios, retaining walls, lighting, fine grade, sod and hydroseed, and anything in between, Green Earth Landscaping has you covered, servicing the Fargo-Moorhead area and beyond. For more information, go online to greenearthnd.com. That's greenearthnd.com.
Make your stop before or after the game at the Knickerbocker in Hickson, North Dakota. Stop out throughout the week for mouth-watering lunch specials weekdays and mark Friday nights down on the calendar for prime rib, ribeye steak, or some walleye at the Knickerbocker. For more information or to find out about daily specials, give the Knickerbocker a like on Facebook by searching the Knickerbocker. Great food and good people. You can find it all at the Knickerbocker in Hickson, North Dakota.
And we're back. Hankinson Hurricanes in town, taking on the Kindred Vikings. Teague Erdman on the mound for the Kindred Vikings with, again, his battery mate, Sam Bernier. And around the infield, Trayton Teberg over at first base. Jackson Schliemann takes over second base. Carter Grunwald out at short. Isaac Johnson gets a start over at third base. Jacob Lindemann in left field, Jack Savageau in center field, and Eli Mack gets a start out in right field. Here are your umpires. Art Haugen is behind home plate, and Bob Barkley is out on the base pass. So thank you, gentlemen, for umpiring these ball games. And for the Hankinson Hurricanes, number 7, Camden Whaler. He's the birthday boy, so one of the parents came up here and said, hey, it's his birthday, so talk about that if you would. So number 7, Camden Whaler. Happy birthday, man. T. Girdman taking his warm-up tosses. Up in the press box, Wendy Bernier broadcasting the game with me. She's running the controls, making sure the audio works and doing all the technical things. Max Bernier gets called up to the press box to run the scoreboard. Dan Nathan over there doing the PA tonight. Concession stand is open, so if you're listening in the crowd, great cheeseburgers, good pizza, all kinds of cold drinks. T. Girdman will face Cannon Falk, Camden Spinks, and Tyson Falk in the top of the first inning. Number 9, T. Girdman, right-handed pitcher, was a member of the 2024 State Babe Ruth Championship team. Cannon Falk steps up. He's the shortstop. Where's number 3? And T. Girdman throws out of the full windup. Here's a pitch. Fastball in at the knees. Ball 1. T. Girdman looks on, kicks and fires. Fastball in there for a strike. Seven-inning counter followed by the 5-inning non-counter. We'll broadcast both games for you tonight. Here's a pitch in there for a strike. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And here's the 1-2. Off speed. That's in there for a strike. And on 4 pitches, Erdman records his first strikeout. Camden Spink steps to the plate. He's a catcher in tonight's ball game. Left-handed hitter. Wears double zeros. And here's a pitch. Off speed, misses high. And here's the 1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss at a high fastball. Thanks for joining us. We're just getting started on yourliveevent.com. Top of the first inning. Here's a pitch. Fastball, swing and a miss. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Now Erdman rocks and fires. Off speed, popped up. Sam looks like he has it measured, and he makes a catch calmly. And there's 2 down. That'll bring up Tyson Falk. That was about as close as straight up as you could possibly get. Would have came down just to the left of the batter's box. Here's the pitch. Off speed, in there for a strike. T. Girdman attacking the zone. And here's the 0-1. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Looks like somebody is coming to the ball game on their John Deere tractor right behind the dugout back there. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Swing and a little pop-up over towards first base.
No, it was out.
Trey Turgman. T-Berg, wow.
T-Berg.
Yeah. I know the man's name. I've been coaching him and talking about him for years. Trayton T-Berg.
Trayton T-Berg.
That was out of play. He had no chance of getting that one. It was over the fence. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Fastball swing and fouled back. The John Deere tractor is now parked.
I can barely get. If I scoot over a tad, might be able to show folks. But watching
Here's
over
the
there.
0-2, foul ball again. That'll hit the screen.
There's really not a bad seat in this house, so come on out and watch some ball game tonight. And the concession stand is open with lots of goodies for supper. Your meal's already prepared and fixed. No more meal planning for tonight. Come on out.
Here's the 0-2 from Erdman. Fastball swing and a foul again. Hey, what a battle by Tyson Falk. Pitcher against pitcher in this at-bat. You're right, there's not a bad seat in the house, and the John Deere tractor just created another one. Looks like a very comfortable seat. It's got a cup holder. Pitches up high, 1-2 the count. Here's the 1-2. Off speed, hit high in the air to center field. Jack Savageau, very calmly, right in his tracks, makes a catch. And it's a 1-2-3 inning. Erdman throws 16 pitches to get out of the inning. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left on base at the end of a half an inning. Hurricanes come up with a 0. Vikings coming to bat on yourliveevent.com.
For any accounting needs you may have, Todd R. World Certified Public Accountant has you covered. From income tax planning, preparation, and consulting for individuals and businesses. Todd Wold CPA would like to wish the best to the teams competing and thank the coaches and players for their hard work and dedication throughout the season on and off the field, as anything can happen every night at the Diamond. For more information, go online to wold-cpa.com. That's wold-cpa.com.
Keep your car moving along with the team at Elite Automotive Center in Fargo. What sets Elite Automotive Center apart from the herd is their truly extensive list of services. From brake and tire service to tune-ups and battery replacement, there's no job too big or small for their ASE certified technicians. Schedule your next oil change by going to EliteAutomotiveCenter.com or scan the QR code on your screen now. Never settle for standard service. Stop by Elite Automotive Center today in Fargo.
For trusted news, weather, and sports from your community, look to R&J Broadcasting Incorporated, KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ Radio, and rjbroadcasting.com. Hear local voices from local radio with news and information from the area. Your information stations, KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ Radio, and rjbroadcasting.com. Local voices from local radio.
And we're back. Tyson Falk takes a mound for the Hankinson Hurricanes. His battery mate is Camden Spinks. In the round the infield, Connor Mauk gets a start over at first base. Jacob Wallach is over at second. Damon Mauk's over at third base. At shortstop is Cannon Falk. In left field is Zane Hintz. In center field, Gage Coomer. And in right field, Isaiah Hintz.
And the boys, everybody's got blue and white on tonight, so we'll kind of keep an eye on the camera and help you figure out who's who. I know it's hard to see sometimes on the screen, so we'll try and walk you through it and make sure you know where we're at in the ball game.
Lineup again for the Kindred Vikings. One in the bottom of the first inning. Falk will see Jackson Schliemann, Derek Stone, and Jack Savageau. Jackson Schliemann, left-handed hitter. Solid hitter with some speed. Good speed up and down this lineup. Here's a pitch in there for a strike. Looking at this lineup, there's just simply no easy outs. All 9 hitters, very good hitters.
What happened?
For some reason, the umpire said, I heard Bach, but there's nobody on base. So no pitch. It was a foul ball anyway. So 0-1 the count.
I'm not sure what he said. I don't.
Oh. Here's a pitch. It's outside. 1-1 the count. Yeah, there's no need to come to a set if there's nobody on base. Tyson Falk pitching out of the stretch. wearing number 11 tonight. Here's a pitch, fastball laced into right center field. The center fielder has it, go sailing over his head. And Savageau is going to stop at second base. And we're going to call it a double. Looks like Coomer had it measured, but kind of sailed over his head and just kept carrying. I don't think he...
And that's Schliemann that is on second, right?
Yep.
You said Savageau, so
Okay.
yeah.
Schliemann's on at second, but it sailed over the head of Coomer out in center field. I think Schliemann hit it a little bit harder than Coomer thought. Here's a pitch to Derek Stone, a high pop fly right side of the infield. Wallach comes on and makes a catch for the Hurricanes, and there's one away. First pitch swinging, Derek Stone, he pops up to the second baseman, and there's one away. Now Jack Savageau comes to the
There
plate.
you go.
He's playing center field tonight.
And they're all in blue and white, so I had to do a double take. I'm like, wait a minute.
Here's a pitch. It's a breaking ball down low. Throw down to second base, and Schliemann is back in time. Jack Savageau batting. Had a nice night at the plate 2 nights ago. Schliemann takes off. Here's a pitch. Throw down to third is not going to be in time. It skips into left field. Schliemann's going to try to score. There might be a play. No, there's not. So it'll be a stolen base for Schliemann of third base, and he'll score on the air. One error for Hankinson now, and the Kindred Vikings come up with the first run of the ball game, and they lead it 1-0. It's a 1-1 count on Jack Savageau. And here's a pitch, fastball swinging a foul to the screen. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Here's a pitch from Falk. Swinging a ground ball right back to the pitcher. Falk has it, fires over to Mauk. And there's 2 down. A 1-3 put out for the second out of the inning. Brings up the pitcher, Teague Erdman. When Erdman was pitching against Tyson Falk, there was a long battle. Falk fouled off a lot of 0-2 pitches, got the count to 1-2, and then flew out to center field. Here's a pitch to Erdman, in there for a strike. And here's a pitch, fastball, misses in, 1 ball and 1 strike. 10 pitches thrown now by Falk. Here's a 1-1 set, and the pitch off speed is inside, 2 balls and a strike. For now, that run is unearned against Falk, unless he gives up a hit or 2 here. Here's the pitch, fastball in the dirt, 3 balls and 1 strike. And here's a set, and the pitch, fastball misses. Ball 4, and Erdman draws the walk.
Bring up right fielder, number 24, Eli.
There'll be a courtesy runner for the pitcher Erdman. It'll be number 18, Jagger Jordan. Eli Mack steps to the plate. He's a right fielder tonight. And here's a pitch. Outside. Runner goes, and Jordheim will steal second base standing up. Carter Grunwald is on deck. 1-0 lead early on for the Kindred Vikings over the Hankinson Hurricanes. And here's a pitch, off speed. Misses. 3 balls and no strikes. Let's see if Mack has a green light to swing here. Here's the 3-0. Fastball swing and a ground ball knocked down by the first baseman, Mauk. He recovers in time to record the out over at first base. It's a 3 unassisted putout. For the third out, at the end of the first inning, 1 run on 1 hit. There was an error, and 1 runner left aboard. At the end of 1 inning, Kindred Vikings lead it 1-0 on yourliveevent.com.
Buying, selling, or leasing commercial real estate or farmland in the Fargo-Moorhead and surrounding area? From office to retail, industrial to multifamily, commercial land to farmland. As the #1 commercial, sales, and leasing brokerage in the FM region, Goldmark Commercial has the experience and skills to handle all of your commercial real estate and farmland needs with the highest levels of customer service and marketing around. Trust the experts at Goldmark Commercial Real Estate to lead your team to success.
Green Earth Landscaping offers a full range of services, including commercial and residential landscape design and installation, maintenance and sprinkler services. From outdoor kitchens to patios, retaining walls, lighting, fine grade, sod and hydroseed, and anything in between, Green Earth Landscaping has you covered, servicing the Fargo-Moorhead area and beyond. For more information, go online to greenearthnd.com. That's greenearthnd.com.
We head to the top of the second inning. The 4, 5, and 6 hitters will bat for the Hankinson Hurricanes. Third baseman Damon Mauk, second baseman Jacob Wallach, and first baseman Connor Mauk. They'll face Teague Erdman. Erdman threw 16 pitches in the first inning, as did Falk for the Hurricanes. Here's a pitch, fastball, popped up again behind home plate. Sam Bernier goes back. He might have room, and he can't quite make the play.
He's a little disappointed about that.
Damon Mauk, the batter. There's a line drive base hit into left field. Yeah. Are they batting out of order?
Eggman. I think that's out of order.
Well, they might have switched around jersey numbers. I'm not sure.
They had a couple of the same number 7s.
That's the number we had, or we got random jerseys? Okay. Numbers wrong?
There's a runner going down to second base.
Missed him.
Safe. A stolen base, so we'll assume that's Damon Mauk on at second base. He's wearing number 2, not 0. So Damon Mauk singles. And here's a pitch, swinging a ground ball, chopped out towards third. Isaac Johnson has it, fires to first base in time for the out. Play at third, throw down. Not in time. Man, Damon Mauk almost got thrown out stealing. Now tries to get over to third base, and he's safe there. It is a 5-3 putout. That'll bring up number 25, Connor Mauk, the first baseman. 1 down, runner on third. Here's a pitch. Misses for a ball. Hankinson does have a couple of double numbers out there. Here's a high fly ball in the shallow center field. Savaggio makes a catch, and they'll throw strongly to home plate, and they'll hold the runner at third base. Just goes down as a fly, 8, 2 outs. And that'll bring up Gage Coomer.
I'll bring up center fielder number 7, Gage Coomer.
2 down with a runner on third base. And here's a pitch, swing and a miss. Isaiah Hintz is on deck. And here's a pitch from Erdman, fastball in there for a strike. Now here's a set and the delivery from Erdman. It hit him. Hit batter on an 0-2 count. puts runners at first and third base. Isaiah Hentz steps to the plate, the right fielder. He's the other number 11. I had number 1 for him. I had number 2, but sorry, I'm answering a question off air here.
Mike's trying to straighten out the press box a little bit too, so nothing to do with the play-by-play here. But
Dan Nathan asked what number 1 or Jacob Wallach's number was. He came to the plate as number 1. We have number 2 down on the scorecard.
And they had a couple number 7s too, I know. But
first pitch to Isaiah Hentz is ball 1. Here's a pitch, fastball in there for a strike. Runners on first and third, 2 down. And here's the set and the pitch, fastball knocked down by Bernier. Pitch missed it, 2 balls and 1 strike. Zane Hentz is on deck. And here's a pitch, fastball, swing and a miss, strike 2. Beautiful night for baseball. The flag, I think, is kind of wrapped around the pole a little bit, but I think what breezer is blowing in. Here's the off-speed pitch, swing and a miss. He got him on strikes. Second strikeout for Erdman, ends the inning. For the Hurricanes, they do pick up a hit. They leave 2 men stranded. Come up with no runs at the end of an inning and a half. We head to the bottom of the second. Vikings lead it by a score of 1-0 on yourliveevent.com.
Halstead Telephone Company delivers fast broadband internet, telephone, and cable TV to residents in this region, including Halstead, Shelley, Neilsville, Climax, Fisher, Bigland, Gentilly in Minnesota, and Hillsborough, Caledonia, Gardner, and Argosville, North Dakota. Serving the area residents since 1904, Halstead Telephone continues to create a bright future for this region using 100% fiber optic technology. Service plans offer flexibility and choices, and there's local support personnel ready to help. Contact Halstead Telephone Company today.
For the Kindred Vikings, it'll be the 6, 7, and 8 hitters, Carter Grunwald, Isaac Johnson, and Trayton Teberg to bat in the bottom of the second inning. 1-0 lead for the Vikings. Bottom of the second. Grunwald leads it off. Playing at shortstop, left-handed batter wears number 3. And the pitch, off speed, misses outside, ball 1. And here's a pitch, fastball down low. 2 balls and no strikes. And here's a 2-0 pitch, off speed, misses away. 3 balls and no strikes. Carter Grunwald in the games 2 nights ago walked 4 times in the first game. I think once or twice in the second game. Now he's got a 3-0 count. Here's the pitch. Fastball misses away. Draws another walk.
Grunwald draws a walk. They'll bring up third baseman, number 25.
we also have Legion B going on tonight over in Jamestown, right? I'll check in on that score here.
Isaac Johnson steps to the plate. Playing at third base, right-handed hitter. Runner goes. Throw down to second base is not in time. Grunwald steals second base. 3 stolen bases now for the Vikings. Pitch was a ball. 1-0 to Isaac Johnson. Runner in scoring position. Good hitter at the plate. Now here's a 1-0 set. And the pitch. Off speed. Misses. 2 balls and no strikes.
Yeah, checking in on Legion B playing over in Jamestown tonight. Looks like the first one of a doubleheader they lost by 1 in 8 innings. And then currently they are in the bottom of the third and down by 1.
Here's a little ground chopper over to, up the third baseline. It goes foul. Two and one the count to Isaac Johnson. Trayton T-Berg on deck. Now here's a pitch. Off speed, down low. 3 balls and 1 strike. Bottom of second, 1-0 lead for the Vikings. Runner on second, nobody out. And here's a 3-1. It's outside, he walked him. 2 walks in a row for fault. His third walk issued. Brings up Trayton T-Berg. Where's number 8? Big right-handed hitter. Good power. Likes to get those arms extended. Here's the set and the pitch. Off speed. It hit him. Now the bases are loaded. Kind of an off speed. T-Berg just kind of let it hit him. Takes his base. Loads up the bases with nobody out. And now it brings up the catcher, Sandberg. The normal catcher, Alex Iverson, made the trip down to Bismarck and Jamestown in the B Legion games.
Yep, they had Bismarck games last night. And Jamestown, they're currently in their bottom of the end of the third now, and they're trailing by 2. It's 4-2 Jamestown in that second game of a doubleheader. They lost the first one 7-6.
First pitch taken for a strike by Bernier. Now he fouls this one down to his coach down the third baseline. Nick Eggman coaching at third base. Jeremiah Doctor coaching on the first baseline. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Off speed, down low, 1 ball and 2 strikes.
I mean, we were here last night watching Legion A take on the Fargo Jets, and they lost a doubleheader to them, and they're back here against Wahpeton on July 1st. They will do a doubleheader against Wahpeton, 5:30 and 7:30 next week.
2-2 the count. And the pitch. Swing and a line drive into right center field. This one is over the head of the center fielder. That'll score at least 1 run. Isaac Johnson being waved around. Bernier running for second. He'll have himself a double. And a 2-run double, and the Vikings lead it by a score of 3-0. Grunwald scores. Isaac Johnson scores. Trayton T-Berg over to third base, and a 2-run double for Sam Bernier.
Second baseman, Jackson.
Back to the top of the order, Jackson Schliemann steps to the plate. He doubled to start off the first, stole a base, and came around to score. So he's 1 for 1 with a double. Ducks around the pond, and he lines one into left center field. That's going to find Green, and that's going to score a couple of runs. Here comes Trayton T-Berg. He scores. Sam Bernier being waved around. He'll score. And a 2-run double off the bat of Jackson Schliemann, his second double of the ball game. And very quickly, it's 5-0 in favor of the Vikings. That's 3 hits now for the Vikings. Derek Stone steps to the plate. And the pitch. Off speed, swinging a pop-up on the right side of the infield. Malk, the first baseman, calls for it, makes a catch. And there's 1 away.
Stone pops up the first. That'll bring up number 14, center fielder, Jack Savage.
3 hits for the Vikings. Runner on second base. Jack Savage steps to the plate. He grounded out to the pitcher his first time up. Fake back to second base. Schliemann is back safely. Jack Savageau, another left-handed hitter in this lineup. And the pitch. Swing and a drive into center field. Gage comes on and makes a catch, and there's 2 down. That's Gage Coomer out in center field.
Savageau flies out to center for the second out, bringing up pitcher number 9, Teague Erdman.
Teague Erdman steps to the plate. He walked his first time up. Was stranded at second base. That was back in the first inning. 5-0 lead for the Kindred Vikings over the Hankinson Hurricanes. Here's a pitch, fastball in there for a strike. And the pitch, runner goes, swinging a high fly ball into center field. Gage Goober comes on, and he can't make the catch, and a run will score. Erdman stops at first base. Schliemann comes across the score, his second run of the ball game, makes it a 6-0 ball game. The RBI single for Erdman.
And he's got a courtesy runner. Jager's back out there for him.
That'll bring up Eli Mack. He's 0 for 1. The Vikings have batted it around now. Mack grounded out to first his first time up. He's 0 for 1. First pitch up high, ball 1. Here's the set and the pitch. It's behind Mack. Jordheim will take second base on the wild pitch. 2-0 count to Eli Mack. And here's a 2-0 outside. 3 balls and no strikes. And here's a 3-0 set. And the pitch, swing and a miss. 3 balls and 1 strike. That's twice now that Eli Mack has taken a hack on a 3-0 pitch. And here's a 3-1. Swing and a line drive, up the middle, base hit. Jordheim is being waved around. He'll come across the score. And it's 7-0 in favor of the Vikings after an RBI single from Eli Mack. Jordheim scores. And the 10th man to come to the plate, Carter Grunwald, started this inning with a walk. Stole a base, came around to score. 2 down, 7-0 lead. Here's a pitch, fastball in there for a strike. Isaac Johnson is on deck. No runs, 1 hit, 1 error for the Hurricanes. Vikings, 7 runs, 5 hits, no errors. Here's a pitch, high drive into right center field. This ball's hit pretty well. Gage Coomer will watch it sail over his head. Eli Mack is being waved home. He'll come across the score. Carter Grunwald being sent to third. He'll stop there with a stand-up triple.
Grunwald triples to right center.
Scores Eli Mack, makes it 8-0.
It's an RBI with Eli Mack starting.
A run batted in for Carter Grunwald, and that'll bring Isaac Johnson again to the plate. He's walked this inning and scored a run. 11th man to come to the plate. Trayton Teberg is on deck. And here's the set. And he throws over to third base. Back in plenty of time is Carter Grunwald. Wasn't a true pickoff attempt, just kind of seeing if he could catch the runner leaning towards the plate. And here's a pitch. Fastball down low. 1 ball and no strikes. And the pitch, swing and a line drive, base hit into right center field for Isaac Johnson, an RBI single. Grunwald comes across the score, makes it 9-0 in favor of the Vikings.
Their second baseman made a good hop trying to catch it, but just right above his glove. He stretched up, jumped, but not quite tall enough to get there.
Yeah, Jacob Wallach, second baseman, gave it a good effort. Here's the pitch, swing and a miss to T-Berg. T-Berg was hit by a pitch this inning and came around to score. 12th man to bat for the Vikings, swinging a ground ball, foul, past Nick Eggman down the third base line.
Coach Eggman couldn't quite make that one stop.
Yeah, he hit pretty hard. We won't give him an error on that one.
Just a little flack.
(9-0) in favor of the Vikings, bottom of the second inning. And here's a pitch, swing and a line drive, foul. T-Berg barreled that one, but way out in front. Count is 0-2. Sam Bernier on deck. And here's a pitch, fastball, fouled down the right field line. Count remains 0-2.
If the foul balls go into foul over the press box, where we are, right behind where the cameras are, there's construction back there doing the new track. So they can't go, the little kids can't get those balls.
And the fastball hit straight in T-Berg again, so the second time he's been hit this inning.
But if those balls stay in the ballpark and over by the batting cages, they can return their foul balls for a little treat at concessions and get them back into the dugout from there.
That'll bring to the plate Sam Bernier. He had a 2-run double to right center field his first time up earlier this inning. Came around to score. It's a 9-0 lead. And here's the set and the pitch. Misses ball one. So Grunwald started this with a walk. He was a 10th man to bat and hit an RBI triple. Here's a pitch down low. We got no pitch on the play. It was a balk called. So Isaac Johnson moves up to third base. T-Berg moves up to second base on the balk. So no pitch. The count should be 1-0. Here's the 1-0 set and the pitch. Fastball in there for a strike.
I think you can go and then just kind of watch the weather. What game are you going to?
Now here's a 1-1. Fastball that hit him. So Sam gets to first base on the hit by pitch. 2 batters hit in a row. That loads the bases. I think Sam wanted a hit there.
Yeah.
He already has a 2-run double this inning. I think he wanted to take his licks.
Now he gets a courtesy runner.
Anders Huseman comes on to pinch run. Jackson Schliemann steps to the plate. He has a 2-run double this inning. Here's a pitch. Gets away from the catcher. It's going to be a wild pitch. That'll score another run. Isaac Johnson comes across to score his second run of the inning. T-Berg to third base. Anders Huseman up to second. 10-0 lead now for the Kindred Vikings. Another throw over to third base, not in time. T-Berg is back. Jackson Schliemann is 2 for 2 with 2 runs scored, 2 doubles, and 2 RBIs. 2-0 the count. 2 outs. And here's the set and the 2-0 pitch in there for a strike. Derek Stone is on deck. And here's a 2-1 set and the pitch. In there for a strike. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Tyson Falk on to pitch for the Hankinson Hurricanes. 57 pitches thrown thus far. Bottom of the second inning. 10-0 lead for the Kindred Vikings. Here's the pitch. Fastball laced down the right field line. And it goes foul. Schliemann barreled it. But it heads foul. 2 balls and 2 strikes still. Tyson Falk working out of the stretch. And here's a pitch. Fastball away. Full count. And here's the pitch. Fastball swinging a high pop fly left side of the infield. This looks like trouble. It's going to fall in there for a hit. And maybe 2 runs are going to score. For some reason, Huseman stopped running. Schliemann will end up at second base. It's going to be an RBI single, 2-run score, a 2 RBI single. And Schliemann will advance to second on the throw. I don't think there's an error on the play.
Brings up DH number 15.
12-0. Now in favor of the Vikings. Derek Stone has seen 2 pitches and popped up a couple of times. Throw it back to second base is not in time. Schliemann has 4 runs batted in this inning. A 2-run double, now a 2-run single. Now here's a pitch. Down low, ball 1. Now here's a pitch. Fastball, swinging a line drive. Base hit down the right field line. This will score a run. Stone digging for second base. He'll have himself a stand-up double. An RBI double for Derek Stone. Schliemann comes across to score the 3rd run of the game for him. That'll bring up Jack Savageau. He's 0 for 2. 9 hits now for the Vikings, 8 of them this inning. First pitch in there for a strike. Now here's a set and the pitch. Off speed in the dirt. 1 ball and 1 strike. Now here's a pitch outside. 2 balls and a strike to Jack Savageau. And here's a pitch, swinging and a ground ball chopped out to the shortstop. Falk has it, fires across the diamond, but it's going to be wide, and that's going to have Savageau reach on an error, and it's going to score a run on that same error. So it's going to be E6. No RBI for Savageau. He'll get down to second base. Derek Stone does come across to score to make it 14-0. Now we're going to have a visit to the mound from Tanner Carlson, the head coach for Hankinson. Not 100% positive that we'll have a pitching change. Calling his infield in just to have a chat here, I think. It's a 14-0 lead for the Vikings.
And they do have a little bit of action headed out to the bullpen there, so maybe there's a pitching change coming soon.
Tyson Falk, the starting pitcher. Yeah, so the Vikings have pounded out 8 hits this inning. They now have 9 for the game. Teague Erdman will be the batter. Erdman walked and stole a base and then had an RBI single in the second inning. So Teague Erdman will be the 17th batter to come to the plate this inning.
Okay, they're all back in place, getting ready to go again.
If Erdman gets on, they'll have batted around twice in this inning. In there for a strike. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Misses inside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Here's a 1-1 set in the pitch. Fastball, swing and a miss. That's foul tipped at the plate, so the runner cannot advance. Eli Mack is on deck. Now here's the set and the pitch. Swing and a ground ball towards the third baseman. Mauk charges, fires across the diamond, and he's not in time. I think that'll be another infield error. We'll call it E5. Savageau gets over to third base. And the Vikings bat around twice in this second inning.
And Jager's going to come in to run for Teague.
It's not often that you get a courtesy runner getting to run twice for the pitcher in the same inning. Eli Mack steps up. He grounded out and singled. An RBI single. Came around to score this inning. Runners on first and third. Here's the set. Here's the pitch. Swing and a line drive. Caught by the third baseman, Mauk. And that ends the inning after 18 men come to bat in the inning. Kindred Vikings lead it by a score of 14-0 on yourliveevent.com.
In that inning, Vikings score 13 runs on 8 hits. For any accounting needs you may have, Todd R. World Certified Public Accountant has you covered. From income tax planning, preparation, and consulting for individuals and businesses. Todd Wold CPA would like to wish the best to the teams competing and thank the coaches and players for their hard work and dedication throughout the season on and off the field, as anything can happen every night at the Diamond. For more information, go online to wold-cpa.com. That's wold-cpa.com. Stay up to date all year long with your live event from our social platforms with X, Facebook, and YouTube. From the latest coaches show to watch game broadcasts back on demand from earlier in the season. Search your live event on YouTube and hit subscribe.
Outside the three-point arc. Pick and pop here with Spaeth into the left side corner. 3, good.
For the complete and most up-to-date schedule throughout the year, head to our website at yourliveevent.com.
Homegrown local radio is now worldwide with 24-hour streaming. Download the RJ Radio app to hear local voices from local radio with KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ 24 hours a day from anywhere. You can listen to your favorite programs like the RJ Family Morning Show, local news, farm markets, music, high school sports, church services, more from anywhere. KRJB, KRJM, and 96.7 KKCQ is streaming on the RJ Radio app. Download it to your device and take us with you wherever you go.
Welcome back, everybody, to Kindred Varsity Field. We have Babe Ruth baseball going on. Kindred Vikings hosting the Hankinson Hurricanes here this evening. We are in the top of the third, and Kindred is up 14-0.
First pitch from Teague Erdman is a ball. He'll face the 9, 1, and 2 hitters, Zane Hentz, Cannon Falk, and Camden Spinks. Teague Erdman on the mound. Here's a pitch in there for a strike. Kindred Vikings drop 13 runs in the bottom of the second inning. with the help of 8 hits. There were a couple of errors. Here's a 1-1 pitch. Off speed away. There are some defensive changes. Jager Jordheim enters the game in right field. He'll bat in the place of Trayton Teberg. Teberg comes out of the game. Eli Mack moves from right field to first base. 3-1 the count to T. Girdman. And here's the 3-1 pitch. He walked him. All Vikings batters batted twice in that second inning. Erdman walks the leadoff hitter. His first walk, he has hit a batter. Back to the top of the order, Cannon Falk steps up. He struck out looking his first time up. He's 0 for 1. First pitch misses, ball 1. And here's a 1-0 set, and the pitch. Fastball swing and a kind of a fairly hard hit ground ball up the first base line. It goes foul. Strike 1. No runs, 1 hit, 3 errors for Hankinson. For the Vikings, 14 runs, 9 hits, no errors. T. Girdman throws his next pitch. That's in there for a strike. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Erdman has now thrown 36 pitches. Here's a 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball misses away. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Now here's the set and the pitch. Fastball, swing and a foul at the plate. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Erdman out of the stretch. Fastball, swing and a foul. Caught the umpire pretty good, it looked like. Home plate umpire Art Hagen. Took it like he's been there before, like it's happened to him before, several times, I'm sure. He's ready to play some baseball. Here's a 2-2 set. Off speed, swing and a miss, he got him. Strikeout number 3 for Erdman. Brings up Camden Spinks. He popped out foul to the catcher Sam Bernier in the first inning. So he's 0 for 1. This is number 16, so I'm not positive this is Camden Spinks. Swing and a miss. We'll have to try to get that straightened out before the next game. 0-2 the count. Here's a pitch from Erdman. Fastball is up, ball 1. I don't see a number 16 anywhere on their roster.
Well, I'm not sure it's a 6 either. Are you sure? I'll have to look when he
Breaking
walks
ball.
away.
Well, it's number 15.
It's a 15.
Still doesn't help. I still don't see a 15 on there. So
We'll figure it out.
number 15 strikes out. And there's 2 down. That brings up Tyson Falk, the pitcher.
Well, maybe it wasn't even a 5. You know, you and me.
Here's a pitch. Misses, ball 1. Now here's a 1-0 pitch, off speed, laced into center field. Jack Savageau stretches over, makes a catch, and a line out ends the inning. 3 men set down in a row by T. Girdman, and that ends the 3rd inning. After 2.5, we head to the bottom of the 3rd inning. 14-0 lead for the Kindred Vikings on YourLiveEvent.com.
Keep your car moving along with the team at Elite Automotive Center in Fargo. What sets Elite Automotive Center apart from the herd is their truly extensive list of services. From brake and tire service to tune-ups and battery replacement, there's no job too big or small for their ASE certified technicians. Schedule your next oil change by going to EliteAutomotiveCenter.com or scan the QR code on your screen now. Never settle for standard service. Stop by Elite Automotive Center today in Fargo.
At Enbridge, we're focused on relationships. 23 Canadian First Nation and Métis communities now own an equity stake in Enbridge Athabasca Pipelines. In Minnesota, Enbridge has spent $450 million and counting with Native-owned companies and in wages to tribal members working on Line 3. Every day brings new collaborations, partnerships, and possibilities. Learn more at Enbridge.com.
Express Lane Marathon in Kindred is your neighborhood convenience store where convenience meets quality, whether you're fueling up with Marathon's top-tier fuel or grabbing a quick snack. Express Lane has you covered. From hot stuff pizza, smash hit subs, premium soft serve ice cream, gas, diesel, and propane exchange. Make sure to use your Marathon app and get 7 cents back per gallon all summer long. Now offering premium 91 non-ethanol fuel. Express Lane is your friendly and locally owned convenience store.
Welcome back, everybody, to Kindred Varsity Field. We have a little Babe Ruth baseball going on as Kindred is hosting Hankinson Hurricanes. And stick around for the Todd Wold CPA post-game show for any accounting requisitions from income tax planning, preparation, and consulting for individuals or businesses. Go online to wold-cpa.com. And in that post-game show, we'll bring you the Enbridge Player of the Game and the HTC connection of the match.
We have a new pitcher for the Hankinson Hurricanes. It's a birthday boy, number 7, Camden Whaler, comes on to pitch. Left-handed pitcher.
And I think our American flag got unwound from the pole and is trying to show everybody here. You can kind of hear it in my microphone even too. There we go. While that pitcher's warming up, I'll show you a little bit of wind going on here in Kindred.
Carter Grunwald will step to the plate. It'll be Carter Grunwald, Isaac Johnson, and Jagger Jordheim. First pitch to Grunwald is a ball from the left-hander Camden Whaler. Celebrating his birthday today.
Happy birthday to him.
Grunwald has walked and scored a run and tripled and drove in a run and also scored his second run of the game. Isaac Johnson is on deck. Here's a 2-0 set and the pitch off speed, misses away. 3 balls and no strikes. And here's a 3-0 set and the pitch. He misses. Grunwald draws a walk, and that'll bring up Isaac Johnson. Johnson has walked and scored a run, then had an RBI single and scored a run. That was all in the second inning. Here's the set, here's the pitch, off speed, swinging a foul, out of play, strike 1. Babe Ruth Baseball on yourliveevent.com. I'm Mike Bernier, Wendy Bernier joining us.
Good evening.
Here's a high pop fly right side of the infield. Whaler calls for it and misses it, and it'll land safely. Throw down to second base. Not in time. It'll be an error on the pitcher. E1. Runners on first and second with nobody out. Jagger Jordheim. Got to courtesy run a couple of times for the pitcher and score a couple of runs. Scored 1 run, I guess. gets his first plate appearance. He's batting in the spot of Trayton Teberg, and just like Trayton Teberg did, he gets hit by a pitch. Teberg was hit by 2 pitches in the second inning, came around to score. Now Jordheim is hit by a pitch. That loads the bases for Sam Bernier. He had a 2-run double in the second inning, and it was also hit by a pitch. Now here's the set and the pitch. Outside, ball 1. I think the coaches have to agree on the 15-run rule after 3 innings. I'm not sure if they did that to start the ball game or not. There's a line drive, base hit into left field. That'll score a run. And Nick Eggman holds up the runner there. It's an RBI single for Bernier. His 3rd run batted into the game. Grunwald comes across to score his 3rd run of the game. Isaac Johnson stops at 3rd. Jordheim up to 2nd, and that will end the ball game. A 15-0 win for the Kindred Vikings over the Hankinson Hurricanes. We'll come back with the Todd Wold CPA postgame show after this on yourliveevent.com.
Buying, selling, or leasing commercial real estate or farmland in the Fargo-Moorhead and surrounding area? From office to retail, industrial to multifamily, commercial land to farmland. As the #1 commercial, sales, and leasing brokerage in the FM region, Goldmark Commercial has the experience and skills to handle all of your commercial real estate and farmland needs with the highest levels of customer service and marketing around. Trust the experts at Goldmark Commercial Real Estate to lead your team to success.
Green Earth Landscaping offers a full range of services, including commercial and residential landscape design and installation, maintenance and sprinkler services. From outdoor kitchens to patios, retaining walls, lighting, fine grade, sod and hydroseed, and anything in between, Green Earth Landscaping has you covered, servicing the Fargo-Moorhead area and beyond. For more information, go online to greenearthnd.com. That's greenearthnd.com.
And we're back on the Todd Wold CPA postgame show. The Kindred Vikings win this one by a score of 15-0 after 3 innings, and the game comes to a halt after the 15-run rule after 3 innings. On the mound for the Kindred Vikings, T. Girdman picks up the win. He goes 3 innings, allows just the 1 hit, walks 1, and strikes out 4. Offensively for the Kindred Vikings, a lot of offense for the Vikings. Jackson Schliemann was 3 for 3 with 3 runs scored and 4 runs batted in. Derek Stone was 1 for 3 with a run scored and a run batted in and a double. T. Girdman was 0 for 2, drew a walk, and his courtesy runner scored a run for him. Eli Mack 1 for 3 with a run scored and an RBI. Carter Grunwald 1 for 1 with an RBI triple and 3 runs scored, drawing 2 more walks. Isaac Johnson 1 for 2 with 2 runs scored and a run batted in. Trayton Teberg scored 2 runs and got hit by a pitch twice. That's how he got on base. Sam Bernier was 2 for 2 with a run batted in, or with 3 runs batted in and 1 run scored for the Kindred Vikings. Pitching and taking the loss for the Hankinson Hurricanes, Tyson Falk was a starter. He went 2 innings, allowed 8 hits, 14 runs, only 5 earned, walked 3, didn't strike anybody out. He'll take the loss for the Hurricanes. Offensively, Damon Mauk had the lone hit for Hankinson. Now we'll cover the connection of the game.
Yeah, brought to you by HTC. Discover local reliability you can trust. Halstead Telephone, it's how to connect. HalsteadTel.com. And for your connection on the match,
we'll go with T. Girdman. T. Girdman went out on the mound and threw strikes. He threw 3 innings, like we said earlier, and threw a complete game shutout, albeit only 3 innings, but he allowed only the 1 hit, only walked 1 batter, and struck out 4. So T. Girdman is your connection of the game in this ball game.
Yep, and then we will also have a player of the game, courtesy of Enbridge. Life takes energy, Enbridge. Energy for life, enbridge.com for career opportunities. So we will, surprise ever, stick around for that, and we will get that player up here and have a quick interview with them before we get into the second game of this doubleheader tonight.
Make your stop before or after the game at the Knickerbocker in Hankinson, North Dakota. Stop out throughout the week for mouth-watering lunch specials weekdays and mark Friday nights down on the calendar for prime rib, ribeye steak, or some walleye at the Knickerbocker. For more information or to find out about daily specials, give the Knickerbocker a like on Facebook by searching the Knickerbocker. Great food and good people. You can find it all at the Knickerbocker in Hankinson, North Dakota. For any accounting needs you may have, Todd R. World Certified Public Accountant has you covered. From income tax planning, preparation, and consulting for individuals and businesses. Todd Wold CPA would like to wish the best to the teams competing and thank the coaches and players for their hard work and dedication throughout the season on and off the field, as anything can happen every night at the Diamond. For more information, go online to wold-cpa.com. That's wold-cpa.com.
Keep your car moving along with the team at Elite Automotive Center in Fargo. What sets Elite Automotive Center apart from the herd is their truly extensive list of services. From brake and tire service to tune-ups and battery replacement, there's no job too big or small for their ASE certified technicians. Schedule your next oil change by going to EliteAutomotiveCenter.com or scan the QR code on your screen now. Never settle for standard service. Stop by Elite Automotive Center today in Fargo.
For trusted news, weather, and sports from your community, look to R&J Broadcasting Incorporated, KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ Radio, and rjbroadcasting.com. Hear local voices from local radio with news and information from the area. Your information stations, KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ Radio, and rjbroadcasting.com. Local voices from local radio.
Buying, selling, or leasing commercial real estate or farmland in the Fargo-Moorhead and surrounding area? From office to retail, industrial to multifamily, commercial land to farmland. As the #1 commercial sales and leasing brokerage in the FM region, Goldmark Commercial has the experience and skills to handle all of your commercial real estate and farmland needs with the highest levels of customer service and marketing around. Trust the experts at Goldmark Commercial Real Estate to lead your team to success.
Green Earth Landscaping offers a full range of services, including commercial and residential landscape design and installation, maintenance and sprinkler services. From outdoor kitchens to patios, retaining walls, lighting, fine grade, sod and hydroseed, and anything in between, Green Earth Landscaping has you covered, servicing the Fargo-Moorhead area and beyond. For more information, go online to greenearthnd.com. That's greenearthnd.com.
And we're back with our Enbridge player of the game. It's none other than Jackson Schliemann, the leadoff hitter and the second baseman in tonight's ball game. You look pretty good up at the plate tonight. How did it feel up there?
It felt pretty good. You know, there's some days where you just feel good hitting, and this was one of them for me, I guess. So
I think everybody was kind of seeing the ball. You guys put up 15 runs. You led the attack. You had 2 doubles, scored 3 runs, and you drove in 4 runs. You drove in those 4 runs in the second inning. Alone, you had a 2-run double, you had a 2-run single. That was a big inning. How did it feel going out there and scoring a bunch of runs, putting up, I think it was 13 runs in that second inning?
I mean, it felt good, you know. It's always fun to put up 15 runs and see your team hit so well. So, yeah, hopefully we can do it again in the second game.
Yeah, we have a second game coming up on the doubleheader, and you're the Enbridge player of the game. Your line was 3 at-bats, 3 runs scored, 3 hits, 4 runs batted in, and you added a stolen base for the night. So is this your first Enbridge player of the game honor?
Second. I had one first game of the year, so.
First game of the year?
Yep.
Okay, excellent. Yeah, I think I remember that now.
Yeah, against
So
Castleton.
yeah, so that was another one. So a good game at the plate for you, and congratulations on the Enbridge player of the game. Any shout-outs to anybody for tonight's ball game?
Eli Mack, you know, he hits the ball hard. Sometimes it goes right to the other person. So, yeah, Eli Mack tonight.
Yeah, it hits. Yeah, it finds the other person's glove, right? It finds the defense glove. But all right, congratulations. Good game on the Enbridge player of the game.
Yep.
And we'll end this game for now, when we'll come back with the second game of the doubleheader on yourliveevent.com.
Halstead Telephone Company and R&J Broadcasting Incorporated is proud to present to you this broadcast on yourliveevent.com.
Welcome back, everybody, to Game 2 of this doubleheader this evening here in Kindred, as the Kindred Vikings are hosting the Hankinson Hurricanes. First game, Kindred wins. Second game about to get underway with Derek Stone throwing some pitches to Briar Gibbon this evening.
Here's your starting lineup for the Hankinson Hurricanes. Zane Hentz bats leadoff and plays in right field. Batting second and playing in left field, Jacob Wallach. Batting third and playing over at third base, Tyson Falk. Batting cleanup, playing in center field, Camden Spinks. Batting fifth and playing at shortstop is Damon Mauk. Batting sixth and playing at second base is Connor Falk. Catching and batting seventh, Sawyer Paulson. And batting eighth is the first baseman, Connor Mauk. And Camden Whaler bats ninth. He's the pitcher in tonight's ball game. On the mound for the Kindred Vikings, like Wendy said, is Derek Stone throwing to his battery mate, Briar Gibbon. The lineup for the Kindred Vikings, batting first and playing in left field, Jager Jordheim. Batting second is Beckett Westby, playing at second base. Bristol Swanson bats third. He's a shortstop. Batting cleanup is that catcher, Briar Gibbon. Anders Huseman bats fifth, plays in center field. Jacob Lindemann in right field, bats sixth. Derek Stone bats seventh and does the pitching. Eli Mack over at first base, bats eighth, and batting ninth is Isaac Johnson, and he's playing over at third base. The extra hitter in the ball game is Teague Erdman, so he'll get some more at-bats. Vikings win the first one by a score of 15-0. This is the second game of a doubleheader. This is a non-counter, so a non-league game. 5-inning affair. Here's a pitch by Derek Stone, outside, ball one. Umpiring behind the plate is Bob Barkley. Art Haugen umpired the first game behind the plate, so he's out on the base paths. Next pitch from Stone misses for a ball. 2 balls and no strikes. Derek Stone on the mound. Throws from a complete windup. The lefty rocks and fires, misses upstairs, ball 3. Zane Hentz, the batter. I think we got numbers corrected this time. And here's a pitch, 3-0, misses. He walked him on 4 pitches. Brings up Jacob Wallach, number 1. He's a left fielder in tonight's ball game. Just getting started in game 2, top of the first inning. 1 on, nobody out. Here's a pitch, fastball misses, ball 1. Tyson Falk is on deck. Now here's a 1-0 set, and the pitch from Derek Stone. That's in there for a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike. Derek Stone, the left-hander. Here's a set. And that's a balk. We called it up in the press box. So Hentz will go down to second base on the balk. Just kind of a slight hesitation, a slight movement from Derek Stone, but that was enough for the balk, and Hentz will get down to second base. Here's a 1-0 pitch, or 1-1 pitch, swinging a pop-up foul, strike 2. Way over the press box and out of play. Here's a set by Stone. Fastball, little ground ball out towards second. Westby has it, fires on to first base. Eli Mack is there. Out is recorded. It's a 4-3 put out, 1 away. Hance moves up to third base.
Brings up third baseman number 11, Tyson Falk.
One down brings up Tyson Falk, the third baseman. He was 0 for 2 in the first game. A couple of flyouts to center field. The end of the game hit a laser to straightaway center field, but it found the glove of Jack Savageau out there. Here's a pitch from Derek Stone. Fastball lined into right field, and it's down for a hit, so he'll get his hit. It's an RBI single for Tyson Falk. First hit for either team, first run for either team, and it's 1-0 in favor of Hankinson. They put up their first run of the night. One hit now for Hankinson. It's an RBI single for Tyson Falk. Camden Spink steps up. He's a center fielder, left-handed hitter. Runner goes, pitches down low. Gibbon fires down to second base. It will not be in time. A stolen base for Tyson Falk. One down with a runner on second. In scoring position for cleanup hitter Camden Spinks. Spinks caught the first game. He's out in center field now. And here's the set and the pitch. Fastball in there for a strike. 0-1 the count. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Foul ball into the evergreens over the third base dugout. No balls and 2 strikes. Derek Stone looks on, gets his sign from his catcher, Briar Gibbon. Rocks and fires, off-speed pitch, misses up high. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Damon Mauk on deck. Count is 2-2. Here's a set and the pitch. Fastball, it hit him. The runner was going on the pitch, but he'll have to go back to second base. The ball hit Spinks, so he'll get first base, but that caught him. He's holding his right elbow area. That's smarts.
He's going to have a courtesy runner come out.
That is right. I failed to correct that batter. So Damon Mauk has listed as number 0, but he is number 2. He was number 2 in the first game. So courtesy runner, I didn't catch the number of him. It's number 7. Yep, Gage Coomer comes on to run. So runners on first and second with 1 out. 1-0 lead for the Hurricanes. Here's the set and the pitch. Fastball down low. Knocked down by Briar Gibbon. Now here's a 1-0 pitch. Runner fakes going. The pitch is called the strike. 1 ball and 1 strike. Derek Stone, the southpaw, looks back at second, kicks and fires, fastball away, 2 balls and a strike. Babe Ruth baseball for you on your live event.com. Runner goes, pitches a strike, and Gibbon will not throw down to third base. It's a stolen base for Falk. The courtesy runner, Coomer, did not go down to second base, so it's a stolen base. You kind of hear Coach Eggman encouraging Briar Gibbon to throw the ball. You might get that interference call if you hit the batter. Here's a pitch, misses, and the runner goes, and he'll steal second base. Does Gage Coomer. Best thing the batter can do is just kind of duck and just try to get out of the way. That pitch misses for a ball, loads the bases, and that'll bring up Connor Falk, the second baseman.
Checking in again with our Legion B is out in Jamestown tonight. They played a doubleheader there. Looks like they lost both of those, 7-6 and then 6-5.
A lot of one-run ball games on their road trip. Here's a pitch, fastball in there for a strike to Connor Falk. One run in so far for the Hurricanes. They do have a hit. Bases are loaded with one out. And pitch number 22 from Stone misses outside. Ball one. Here comes a runner. There might be a play. Throw to the plate is not in time. It skips up the third base line, but runners will not advance any further. So it's a wild pitch. Makes it 2-0 in favor of the Hankinson Hurricanes. Coomer goes down to third base. Damon Mauk to second. And here's a set from Stone. And the pitch. Fastball. Misses inside. 2 balls and a strike. Coach Tanner Carlson coaching down the third base line.
And we should remind everybody, too, that Legion A will be back at this field in action on the 1st against Wahpeton.
That pitch misses upstairs. It's 3-1. And before that game, I believe the Babe Ruth team plays at 11 in the morning. So
yep,
I believe we'll bring you all of those games on yourliveevent.com. Here's a 3-1 pitch. Fastball outside. He walked him.
Yes, Monday the 30th. Well, the schedule says at Valley City, so we'll have to check that.
And the pitch, swing and a miss to Sawyer Paulson. I believe it's Tuesday, July 1st is the Babe Ruth game, and then following the Legion game on Tuesday, I believe. And I think the Babe Ruth team is at Valley City on that Monday. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Fastball is up. One ball and one strike.
We'll check it out and figure it out and be sure.
Two 2-0 lead for the Hurricanes. Swing and a miss by Sawyer Paulson. Here's a 1-2 set. And the pitch. Fastball misses outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Okay, so before Legion A plays on Tuesday, Babe Ruth plays at Valley City on that Monday, and then they play Thompson on Tuesday. So they have 2 things going on before Legion A is back here on Tuesday night.
Called strike 3, and Paulson goes down on strikes. 2 down. Brings up Connor Mauk, the first baseman. And here's a set by Stone. And the pitch, fastball, swing and a miss, strike 1. 32 pitches thrown by Derek Stone. He's only given up the 1 hit. He's walked 3 and hit a batter. Here's the 0-1 pitch, swing and a miss, strike 2. It's a foul tip at the plate. Down on the count, 0-2, Connor Mauk, batting with the bases loaded. Here's the 0-2, swing and a ground ball over towards third. Isaac Johnson charges, fields, fires, and it gets by Eli Mack, and it skips into right field. 1 run scores on the play. The bases will remain loaded. That's going to be E5, I believe. No RBI for Mauk. Connor Falk up to second. Damon Mauk over to third. Coomer comes across the score to make it 3-0 in favor of the Hurricanes. Camden Whaler steps to the plate. Pitch is down low, ball one.
Number 7, Camden Whaler.
At the major league level, it's kind of a rarity to have a left-handed thrower that bats right-handed. In this game, we have two of them. Eli Mack throws left-handed, bats right. And now the batter, the birthday boy, Camden Whaler, bats right, throws left. Here's the set and the pitch, swing and a miss. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And here's a 1-2 set and the pitch. Off speed. Called, third strike. And Camden Whaler goes down on strikes. 2 strikeouts now for Derek Stone. However, the Hurricanes bat around, come up with 3 runs on a hit. There was an error, but they leave 3 runners aboard, and we head to the bottom of the first inning. Vikings coming to bat on yourliveevent.com.
Halstead Telephone Company delivers fast broadband internet, telephone, and cable TV to residents in this region, including Halstead, Shelley, Neilsville, Climax, Fisher, Bigland, Gentilly in Minnesota, and Hillsborough, Caledonia, Gardner, and Argosville, North Dakota. Serving the area residents since 1904, Halstead Telephone continues to create a bright future for this region using 100% fiber optic technology. Service plans offer flexibility and choices, and there's local support personnel ready to help. Contact Halstead Telephone Company today.
For any accounting needs you may have, Todd R. World Certified Public Accountant has you covered. From income tax planning, preparation, and consulting for individuals and businesses. Todd Wold CPA would like to wish the best to the teams competing and thank the coaches and players for their hard work and dedication throughout the season on and off the field, as anything can happen every night at the Diamond. For more information, go online to wold-cpa.com. That's wold-cpa.com.
Welcome back, everybody, to Kindred Varsity Field. Kindred is hosting the Hankinson Hurricanes tonight in a short doubleheader. The first one just went 3 innings as Kindred wins that one. And now we are in the bottom of the first inning. And Hankinson is up 3-0.
Kindred Vikings will send up Jager Jordheim, Beckett Westby, and Bristol Swanson in the bottom of the first inning against a left-hander, Camden Whaler. He pitched in that first game. He came in and pitched just a couple of batters. He hit Jager Jordheim and then gave up an RBI single. And then that ended the ball game by a score of 15-0. 15-run rule in effect. But now the Hurricanes up in the second game. Like Wendy said, 3-0. Bottom of the first inning. Jager Jordheim steps to the plate. In his lone plate appearance, he was hit by a pitch. Did some courtesy running in that first game as well. Playing in left field and batting leadoff. Here's the set and the pitch. Swing and a miss. 1 ball and 1 strike. Here's a 1-1 set and the pitch. Off speed. Misses up. 2 balls and a strike. Beckett Westby on deck. Nick Eggman coaching at third. Jeremiah Doctor coaching at first. Here's a pitch. Swing and a miss. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here's the set and the pitch. Swinging it a little looper out into center field. That's going to fall in there for a base hit. Vikings pick up their first hit. Leadoff batter is aboard for Beckett Westby, the second baseman.
That location on that one just a little bit past the dirt into the grass. That's a hard spot for everybody to get to that fast.
And here's a pitch. It goes behind Beckett Westby. It'll be a wild pitch. Jordheim will move up to second base. Runner in scoring position. A couple of lefties thrown on the hill in the second game. Derek Stone for the Vikings. Now Camden Whaler for the Hurricanes. Here's the pitch. Outside. 2 balls and no strikes. Here's a 2-0 set and the pitch. Misses outside. Throw down to third base is not in time. Jordheim swipes third base. 3-0 the count. Now here's a 3-0 pitch. In there for a strike. Beckett Westby getting the start at second base. Did not play in the first game. Getting an at-bat here. Here's a 3-1 pitch. Missed, ball 4, and Westby draws the walk. That'll bring up Bristol Swanson. Right-handed hitter, where's number 16? Briar Gibbon is on deck. Swing and a miss at the first pitch. Camden Whaler. Lefty works out of the stretch. Gets his sign, kicks and fires. Westby takes off on the pitch. Line drive into center field, and it's going to skip past the center fielder. That scores Jordheim. Westby being waved around third. He'll come across to score. It's going to be a 2-run double for Bristol Swanson. And it's 3-2 in favor of the Hankinson Hurricanes. But nobody out for the Vikings as Jordheim scores. Westby scores. And it's 3-2 in favor of the Hurricanes with Briar Gibbons stepping to the plate. Big lead for Swanson. He takes off. He's going to steal third easily. Stolen base. Pitch was a ball. Nobody really covering Bristol out there on second base. He got a really big jump. Here's a 1-0, misses outside. 2 balls and no strikes. Or 1 ball and 1 strike, I should say. Anders Huseman steps up on deck. Here's the set and the pitch. Swing and a ground ball on the right side. Second baseman Falk has it. He throws over to Mauk over at first base in time for the out. It's a 4-3 putout for Briar Gibbon. It is an RBI as Bristol Swanson comes across to score to tie up this ball game at 3 runs apiece. That'll bring up Anders Huseman, the center fielder. He saw some courtesy running for the catcher in the first game. Takes ball 1, went behind him. Glitch in the matrix. I'm not really sure how that didn't hit him. Kind of leaned forward a little bit, and it missed him behind him. Here's a pitch. 1-1 the count, or 2-0 the count, I should say. Jacob Lindemann on deck. Camden Whaler rocks and fires off speed, high pop fly, foul down the third base line. That'll get out of play. Strike 1. 3 runs, 1 hit, no errors for the Hurricanes. For the Vikings, 3 runs, 2 hits, 1 error. Vikings are batting in the bottom of the first. They got 3 runs across here with 1 out and a 2-1 count on Huseman. Here's the pitch outside. 3 balls and 1 strike. 20 pitches thrown by Camden Whaler. Derek Stone threw 38 pitches in that first inning. And the pitch, swing and a hard ground ball over towards third. Falk has it, throws across to Mauk in time for the 5-3 putout, and there's 2 down.
Nice play over there at third for the second out of the inning.
Hard hit ball, but right at the third baseman, Falk.
Number 7, Jacob Lindemann.
He scooped it up, fired a dime across the infield in time for the out. 2 down. And here's Jacob Lindemann. He takes ball 1. Lindemann did play in the first game, but he didn't get a plate appearance. He was playing left field and being DH'd for. Gets his plate appearance here. And here's a pitch. Swinging a ground ball out towards short. Mauk has it, fires to the other Mauk, and he scoops it out of the dirt in time for the out. 3 in a row set down on ground balls by Camden Whaler. The Vikings do tie it up, scoring 3 runs with 2 hits. There were no errors, nobody left aboard, so at the end of 1, it's tied at 3 on yourliveevent.com.
Stay up to date all year long with your live event from our social platforms with X, Facebook, and YouTube. From the latest coaches show to watch game broadcasts back on demand from earlier in the season. Search your live event on YouTube and hit subscribe.
Outside the three-point arc. Pick and pop here with Spaeth into the left side corner. 3, good.
For the complete and most up-to-date schedule throughout the year, head to our website at yourliveevent.com.
Homegrown local radio is now worldwide with 24-hour streaming. Download the RJ Radio app to hear local voices from local radio with KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ 24 hours a day from anywhere. You can listen to your favorite programs like the RJ Family Morning Show, local news, farm markets, music, high school sports, church services, more from anywhere. KRJB, KRJM, and 96.7 KKCQ is streaming on the RJ Radio app. Download it to your device and take us with you wherever you go.
And welcome back, everybody, to Viking Varsity Field here in Kindred, where we are hosting the Hankinson Hurricanes.
Dylan Stone comes out of the mound. It helps if I turn up the volume on my microphone.
I know, you shouldn't be touching the buttons, right? That's why they have me out here.
Hankinson Hurricanes will send up the top of the order. It'll be Zane Hentz, Jacob Wallach, and Tyson Falk batting in the top of the second inning. The Hurricanes batted around in the top of the first, putting up the 3 runs. Here's a pitch from Stone. It's outside, ball 1. Zane Hentz drew a walk in the first to lead off the ball game. He did come around to score. Here's a set and the pitch from Stone. Fastball outside, 2 balls and no strikes.
Harassment there, Coach? Coach? Enough harassment yet? He's probably good.
2-0 the count. Here's a pitch. Fastball in there for a strike. 2 balls and a strike.
One of the Hankinson gentlemen is having a birthday tonight. So the PA has been playing happy birthday for him and announcing it a few times. So hopefully he knows we're all cheering him on his happy birthday.
Pitch misses down low. 3 balls and a strike. Here's the pitch. Fastball misses away. Hentz draws his second walk of the ball game.
Hentz draws a walk. They'll bring up left fielder number 1.
4 walks issued by Derek Stone. That'll bring up Jacob Wallach. He grounded out to second his first time up. So here's a set by Stone, and the pitch, a bunt attempt, and it's a pretty good one. Stone fields it, fires over to first base in time for the out. It'll be a sacrifice bunt for Wallach. A 1-3 put out for the first out of the inning. Hentz moves up to second base, so a nice sacrifice bunt by Jacob Wallach. He won't be charged with the nat bat. Tyson Falk steps to the plate. He had an RBI single, stole a couple of bases, scored on a wild pitch. That was in the first inning. Now he bats with a runner in scoring position. And the pitch, fastball, swing and a miss. Here's the set by Derek Stone. Looks back to second, rocks and fires, swing and a miss. No balls and 2 strikes. Camden Spinks, I believe, is on deck. Yes, he is. And here's the 0-2. Off speed. Missed inside, I believe. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Stone gets his sign. And he kicks, fires, fastball outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Stone looks on, has a runner at second base with a 1 out. Rocks and fires, fastball way outside. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Infield playing fairly shallow. Here's a pitch. There's a ground ball over to second base. Westby has it. Fires over to first base just in time for the out. Nice job by Beckett Westby of charging that ball. Not sure it would have made it out of the grass infield. Slow roller. Westby had a long ways to go to make the play, and he does so and just gets Falk hustling down the line for the second out. Hence does move up to third base. And that brings up Camden Spinks. He was hit by a pitch, and he had a courtesy runner come in for him who scored a run. Hit right in the right arm, I believe right in the elbow area. Here's the 0-1. Fastball. Nice block by Briar Gibbon. 1 ball and 1 strike. Tied at 3, top of 2. Here's a 1-1 set. And the pitch. Fastball swinging a foul to the screen. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Looks like Spinks went after a very high fastball. Got the bat to it. Fouled it back to the screen. Here's the 1-2 set. And the pitch. Off speed, misses outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. 54 pitches thrown now by Derek Stone. Here's a set. And the pitch. Fastball inside. Fills up the count. Damon Mauk on deck. And here's a pitch. Fastball down low. Gets by Gibbon. No run will come across the score. But Spinks draws a walk.
Yeah, that runner on third was thinking about it, but coach held him up. Trying to explain right now about why he doesn't have to.
Damon Mauk steps to the plate. He walked in the first inning. Three tie, top of second. Stone trying to work out of a 2-out jam. Here's the set and the pitch. Runner goes, swing and a miss. Throw down to second base is cut off by Westby at second base. Spinks will steal second base. Puts runners at second and third with 2 outs. Pitch was a strike. Here's the set and the pitch. Fastball down low. 1 ball and 1 strike. Here's the 1-1, swinging a ground ball. Stone fields it. He's got time, throws over to first base in time of the out. For the out, and he works his way out of the jam with a 1-3 putout. For the Hurricanes in the top of the second, no runs, no hits. They do leave a couple of runners aboard at the end of 1.5. We head to the bottom of the second inning. Vikings coming to bat. We're tied at 3 on yourliveevent.com.
Keep your car moving along with the team at Elite Automotive Center in Fargo. What sets Elite Automotive Center apart from the herd is their truly extensive list of services. From brake and tire service to tune-ups and battery replacement, there's no job too big or small for their ASE certified technicians. Schedule your next oil change by going to EliteAutomotiveCenter.com or scan the QR code on your screen now. Never settle for standard service. Stop by Elite Automotive Center today in Fargo.
At Enbridge, we're focused on relationships. 23 Canadian First Nation and Métis communities now own an equity stake in Enbridge Athabasca Pipelines. In Minnesota, Enbridge has spent $450 million and counting with Native-owned companies and in wages to tribal members working on Line 3. Every day brings new collaborations, partnerships, and possibilities. Learn more at Enbridge.com.
And we're back. Kindred Vikings will send the 7, 8, 9 hitters to bat against the Southpaw. Camden Whaler, it'll be Derek Stone, Eli Mack, and Isaac Johnson to bat. Kindred Vikings are batting 10 in the lineup tonight. The extra hitter, Teague Erdman, is in the 10th hole. 3-3 tie, bottom of 3. Derek Stone to lead it off. Derek DH'd in the first game. I believe he's one for 3 with a double. And here's the 0-1 pitch, way up high. 1-1 the count. And actually we have 3 players in this game that throw left-handed and bat right. Derek Stone does the same.
Same as what? As who's the other two?
Eli Mack and the pitcher Camden Whaler.
Oh.
They're left-handed throwers and right-handed batters. Traditionally at the major league level, that's kind of a rarity. It's happened many times throughout the major league history, but it's rare.
I didn't know if you were talking about just us or everybody in the game. I was just going to clarify. That's all.
Here's a 3-1 pitch hit high in the air to left field. Center fielder comes over and makes a catch.
Nice play by center fielder.
That's Camden Spinks out in center field. Comes over, takes charge, and records the out. It's a fly out to straightaway center field, or into the left center field. For the first out of the inning, Camden Whaler, the lefty, has set down 4 batters in a row. That brings up Eli Mack. And here's his pitch. Here's a line drive shot into center field. That's a base hit for Eli Mack.
Max singles sharply to center. Brings up third baseman.
3 hits now for the Vikings. Yep. Max Bernier up here running the scoreboard. He said the most prolific one that I can think of is Ricky Henderson, Hall of Famer. Threw left-handed, batted right. Here's a 1-0 pitch. Runner goes. Pitches outside. Ball 2. Eli Mack steals second base, standing up. Isaac Johnson, the batter, batting with a 2-0 count. Here's the set. Eli Mack takes off again. The pitch is fouled back, and the catcher will take a look, but it's going to be out of play. 2 balls and a strike. Teague Erdman on deck. Two and 1 the count to the batter, Isaac Johnson. Isaac was 1 for 2 in the first game. Had an RBI single, scored a couple of runs, drew a walk. Runner goes again. The pitch is a ball. There will be no throw, and Eli Mack steals third base, standing up. 3-1 the count. With one out, runner on third. Here's a set by Whaler, and the pitch. Swing and a line drive into right center. That's going to fall down for an RBI single for Johnson. Mack will come across the score to take the lead by a score of 4-3. An RBI single for Isaac Johnson. And the extra hitter, T. Girdman, steps to the plate. He got the win in the first game on the mound for the Kindred Vikings, and he also went 1 for 2 with an RBI single and a run scored in that first game. Here's a pitch in there for a strike. A 4-3 lead for the Kindred Vikings over the Hankinson Hurricanes. Bottom of second. Camden Whaler rocks and fires. Johnson takes off, and the throw down to second is way high and not in time, and Johnson steals second base. 3 stolen bases this inning for the Vikings. I have 5 total. 1-1 the count. Now here's a set, and the pitch, swinging in a ground ball. That is just foul down the third base line. Strike 2. Number 7, Camden Whaler. Whaler is spelled W-A-H-L-E-R. Pronounced Whaler. Fakes a throw back to second base. Johnson is back. Now here's a 1-2 pitch. It's up high. Throw down to third, not in time. Johnson steals third base standing. 4th stolen base of the inning for the Vikings. Two and 2 the count to T. Girdman. Teague's got some pop. And here's a pitch, swing and a line drive over towards the third baseman. Falk has it, throws over to Mauk in time for the out. And another nice play by the third baseman, Tyson Falk. That'll be the second out of the inning. That is a run batted in for T. Girdman, as Johnson comes across the score to make it 5-3 in favor of the Kindred Vikings. Back to the top of the order, Jaker Jortheim steps up. He singled and scored a run in the first. Here's a line drive into right center field. On comes the center fielder, Spinks. Nice running catch by Spinks in center field, and that'll end the inning on a line out to center field. Third out recorded on the lineout, but the Vikings do come up with a couple of runs on a couple of hits. There were no errors, nobody left on base. At the end of 2, it's a 5-3 lead for the Kindred Vikings on yourliveevent.com.
Express Lane Marathon in Kindred is your neighborhood convenience store where convenience meets quality, whether you're fueling up with Marathon's top-tier fuel or grabbing a quick snack. Express Lane has you covered. From hot stuff pizza, smash hit subs, premium soft serve ice cream, gas, diesel, and propane exchange. Make sure to use your Marathon app and get 7 cents back per gallon all summer long. Now offering premium 91 non-ethanol fuel. Express Lane is your friendly and locally owned convenience store.
Buying, selling, or leasing commercial real estate or farmland in the Fargo-Moorhead and surrounding area? From office to retail, industrial to multifamily, commercial land to farmland. As the #1 commercial, sales, and leasing brokerage in the FM region, Goldmark Commercial has the experience and skills to handle all of your commercial real estate and farmland needs with the highest levels of customer service and marketing around. Trust the experts at Goldmark Commercial Real Estate to lead your team to success.
Green Earth Landscaping offers a full range of services, including commercial and residential landscape design and installation, maintenance and sprinkler services. From outdoor kitchens to patios, retaining walls, lighting, fine grade, sod and hydroseed, and anything in between, Green Earth Landscaping has you covered, servicing the Fargo-Moorhead area and beyond. For more information, go online to greenearthnd.com. That's greenearthnd.com.
Hankinson Hurricanes come to bat in the top of the third inning. They'll send the 6, 7, and 8 hitters up. It'll be Connor Falk, Sawyer Paulson, and Connor Mauk. Derek Stone on the mound for the Vikings. Rocks and fires. Pitch number 1 of the inning is a fastball outside, ball 1. Connor Falk batting. He's the second baseman. He walked in the first inning. Here's a pitch by Stone. Fastball. Misses outside. 2 balls and no strikes. 3 runs, 1 hit, no errors for the Hurricanes. Vikings, 5 runs, 4 hits, and 1 error. Here's a 2-0 pitch. Fastball up. 3-0. Derek Stone. Lefty pitcher, wears number 15. Throws out of the full windup. Rocks and fires a 3-0, and it misses. Outside, and Falk draws his second walk of the ball game. Leadoff runner is aboard. Sawyer Paulson steps up. He struck out looking in the first inning. And Stone will fire over to first base. Eli Mack had his sunglasses go flying out.
They'll just get scratched up a little. That's fine.
Here's a pitch. It's a fastball up. One and 0 the count. Sawyer Paulson, the catcher. Here's the 1-0 set. And the pitch, fastball, way outside. It's going to miss Briar Gibbon. He couldn't get a handle on it as it sailed past him, a wild pitch. And Falk moves up to second base. Ball 2, 2-0 the count. Minnesota Twins are leading by a score of 3-0. Looks like the top of the 6th inning against the Tigers in Detroit. Here's a 2-0 set, and the pitch, fastball in there for a strike.
Yeah, and the sun's just getting down there enough now. It's kind of bright. Might be in Briar's face just a little bit. I have a hard time looking down to first for a few minutes here.
Here's a set and the 2-1. Swing and a miss. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Connor Mauk on deck. Here's a set. And the pitch from Stone. Fastball. Got him. Strike 3 looking. Paulson goes down on strikes for the first out of the inning. And that'll bring up Connor Mauk. He reached on an error by the third baseman back in the first. So he's 0 for 1 officially. And the pitch, fastball, ground out towards the shortstop. Bristol Swanson charges, throws over to first base in time for the out. A 6-3 put out. Eli Mack is over there to make the catch and the out. Second out of the inning recorded. Connor Falk moves up to third base on the play. Camden Whaler steps to the plate. He struck out looking to end the first inning. Here's the set and the pitch. Fastball down low in the dirt. Blocked nicely by Briar Gibbon. Pitch number 70 for Derek Stone. Fastball in there for a strike. Babe Ruth level, the pitch count is 95 as a maximum. Here's a 1-1 set and the pitch, fastball in there for a strike. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Stone looks on, trying to work his way out of this inning. And the pitch, fastball. Outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. I think Derek wanted that pitch. Here's the 2-2 set and the pitch. Fastball down low. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Here's the set and the pitch. Fastball. Called strike 3. And Camden Whaler goes down on strikes for the second time. That's the third out of the inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, 1 runner left aboard. At the end of 2.5, we head to the bottom of the third inning. Kindred Vikings lead it by a score of 5-3 on yourliveevent.com.
Make your stop before or after the game at the Knickerbocker in Hankinson, North Dakota. Stop out throughout the week for mouth-watering lunch specials weekdays and mark Friday nights down on the calendar for prime rib, ribeye steak, or some walleye at the Knickerbocker. For more information or to find out about daily specials, give the Knickerbocker a like on Facebook by searching the Knickerbocker. Great food and good people. You can find it all at the Knickerbocker in Hankinson, North Dakota. For any accounting needs you may have, Todd R. World Certified Public Accountant has you covered. From income tax planning, preparation, and consulting for individuals and businesses. Todd Wold CPA would like to wish the best to the teams competing and thank the coaches and players for their hard work and dedication throughout the season on and off the field, as anything can happen every night at the Diamond. For more information, go online to wold-cpa.com. That's wold-cpa.com.
Welcome back, everybody, to Kindred Varsity Field. Stick around. After this game, we will have the Todd Wold CPA post-game show. For any accounting requisitions from income tax planning, preparation, and consulting for individuals or businesses, go online to wold-cpa.com. And in that post-game show, we will have the Enbridge Player of the Game and the HTC Connection of the Match.
Kindred Vikings will send the 2, 3, and 4 hitters up. It'll be Beckett, Westby, Bristol Swanson, and Briar Gibbon. Westby hits a drive down the third base line, foul. Strike 1. Beckett Westby hit it hard, but it goes foul. Westby walked in the first inning, later came around to score a run. Here's the 0-1 pitch from the lefty, Camden Whaler. And the pitch misses. 1-1 the count. Here's a 1-1 set and the pitch. A little ground ball over towards the coach, Nick Eggman. We'll have to give him an error on that one.
Getting heckled by his dugout. And then he
overthrows the pitcher.
Yeah, he's getting heckled a little bit from his dugout and the press box.
Let's see if we can get the pitcher of the baseball. There we go.
Can't get 3 errors on play.
1-2 the count from Whaler. Off speed. Misses. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Camden Whaler, the lefty, looks on, kicks and fires, down low and outside. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Camden Whaler throws out of the stretch full time. And here's a 3-2, way up high, ball 4, and Westby draws the second walk of the ball game. That'll bring up Bristol Swanson. He had a 2-run double in the first inning, later came around to score, added a stolen base. Now here's a set. And the pitch, Westby takes off, swing and a foul ball. Strike one. Oh and 1 the count. And the pitch is up high. Throw down to second base is not nearly in time. Beckett Westby steals second base. 7 stolen bases by my count in the ball game for the Kindred Vikings. One and 1 the count to number 16, Bristol Swanson. And here's a set and the pitch up high and inside. 2 balls and a strike. And the throw back to second base. Westby is back in time. Briar Gibbon on deck. Two and 1 the count. Camden Whaler looks on, rocks and fires. Misses outside. 3 balls and 1 strike. 50 pitches thrown now by Whaler. 3 runs, 1 hit, no errors for the Hurricanes. Kindred Vikings, 5 runs, 4 hits, 1 error. Here's a pitch, swing and a drive into center field. Spinks comes on, covers a lot of ground out there and makes it look easy, and makes a catch, and there's 1 away.
First out. Brings up catcher number 20, Briar Gibbon.
Briar Gibbon grounded out to second base his first time up. It did drive in a run. So 0 for 1 with a run batted in. Anders Huseman steps up on deck. Westby remains at second. Here's the set and the pitch. Westby takes off. I was just going to say the third baseman is playing way off, and Westby will steal third base easily. Runner on third with 1 out. 2-run lead for the Kindred Vikings. The 1-0 pitch is way outside. 2 balls and no strikes. And here's the set and the pitch. Down low and outside. 3 balls and no strikes. Camden Whaler, the lefty. Toes a rubber, looks on, gets a sign from his catcher. Sets and fires. It's down low. Briar Gibbon draws a walk. Second walk of the inning issued by Whaler.
Now batting is center fielder number 1.
Anders Huseman steps to the plate. Hit the ball hard his first time, but right at the third baseman, so he's 0 for 1. Whaler looks on, rocks and fires. Swing and a fly ball into shallow center field. This might be trouble. Spinks has it fall in front of him. Now Gibbon is going to truck into second base, and he is safe at second base. So it will be an RBI single for Huseman. Gibbon reaches second base safely. Westby comes across to score his second run of the ball game. It makes it 6-3 in favor of the Kindred Vikings. Jake Lindemann steps to the plate. He's 0 for 1. He grounded out to shortstop his first time up. Looking to extend the rally. First pitch to Lindemann is outside, ball 1. Derek Stone steps up on deck. One and 0 the count. Here's the set. And the pitch. Runners go. Pitches upstairs. Ball 2. Briar Gibbon steals third base. Anders Huseman steals second base. 4 stolen bases again this inning for the Vikings. 6-3 lead, bottom of 3. Here's the pitch, off speed, way upstairs.
Jake at bat, he spends his off time, which I don't think there's much of, but here at the ballpark, doing a little maintenance here and there, a little landscaping and such, keeping the place looking nice.
Here's the 3-0 pitch, in there for a strike. Here's the 3-1 set, and now the pitch. He missed outside. Lindemann draws a walk. That loads the bases. Coach Tanner Carlson for the Hurricanes will come out to talk to his pitcher. See if he's making a pitching change here. I'm not sure. Comes out to talk to his pitcher. Yep, he's taking the baseball. So we'll take a break for the pitching change. We'll tell you all about it when we come back at yourliveevent.com.
Keep your car moving along with the team at Elite Automotive Center in Fargo. What sets Elite Automotive Center apart from the herd is their truly extensive list of services. From brake and tire service to tune-ups and battery replacement, there's no job too big or small for their ASE certified technicians. Schedule your next oil change by going to EliteAutomotiveCenter.com or scan the QR code on your screen now. Never settle for standard service. Stop by Elite Automotive Center today in Fargo.
For trusted news, weather, and sports from your community, look to R&J Broadcasting Incorporated, KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ Radio, and rjbroadcasting.com. Hear local voices from local radio with news and information from the area. Your information stations, KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ Radio, and rjbroadcasting.com. Local voices from local radio.
Buying, selling, or leasing commercial real estate or farmland in the Fargo-Moorhead and surrounding area? From office to retail, industrial to multifamily, commercial land to farmland. As the #1 commercial, sales, and leasing brokerage in the FM region, Goldmark Commercial has the experience and skills to handle all of your commercial real estate and farmland needs with the highest levels of customer service and marketing around. Trust the experts at Goldmark Commercial Real Estate to lead your team to success.
Green Earth Landscaping offers a full range of services, including commercial and residential landscape design and installation, maintenance and sprinkler services. From outdoor kitchens to patios, retaining walls, lighting, fine grade, sod and hydroseed, and anything in between, Green Earth Landscaping has you covered, servicing the Fargo-Moorhead area and beyond. For more information, go online to greenearthnd.com. That's greenearthnd.com.
We have a straight switch, the first baseman. Where is he here? First baseman.
Number 7.
Connor Mauk comes in to pitch, and Camden Whaler goes over to play first base. He was a starting pitcher.
When you say, where is he? You're looking in your book. I'm like, well, he's over by first base.
So Mauk facing his first batter, Derek Stone. 2-0 pitch is a fastball in the dirt. This is going to skip away from the catcher and score a run as Briar Gibbon comes in and kneels into home plate. I think he thought he was going to have to slide, then he realized he could go in standing up, but either way he scores a run. And that makes it 7-3 in favor of the Vikings. Huseman up to third base. Lindemann over to second. 3-0 count to Derek Stone. He takes a hack and fouls it off. 3 balls and 1 strike.
And we got some action over in the Kindred Vikings bullpen, too.
7-3 in favor of the Vikings. Who do you got throwing down in the bullpen?
No, I'll have to keep watching because
Stone draws a walk. Anders Huseman scores on a wild pitch to make it 8-3. Lindemann does move up to third base. And there's another balk as Stone will move up to second base. Lindemann will come across the score on the balk.
Might be Bristol.
Makes it
I'm
9-3
I'm guessing.
in favor of the Vikings.
Sorry, I'm guessing Bristol's over there. We gotta clean the window down first baseline here. I gotta do that tonight.
Here's a pitch to Eli Mack. High fly ball into center field. Spinks is under it. He makes the catch. He will make the throw into second. Throw down to third base. Not in time. And it's going to skip off the fence in front of the third base dugout. So Stone is safe at third base on the fly out for Eli Mack. Second out of the inning is recorded. So that brings up Isaac Johnson. Johnson has an RBI single, 2 stolen bases, and a run scored. Did that back in the second inning. Here's a pitch. Ball gets away. Derek Stone's going to come in and try to score, and he will. 10-3 in favor of the Vikings.
Yeah, I can confirm that Bristol was the one in the bullpen warming up, and now they're walking back to the dugout. Carter and Jackson were helping him out.
Here's the 1-0 pitch upstairs. Ball 2 to the batter, Isaac Johnson. 2 down, nobody on, 5 runs in for the Vikings in the bottom of the third inning. They lead it 10-3. Hankinson Hurricanes struck first. They scored 3 runs in the top of the first. Now here's a pitch, swing and a foul near the window of the press box over here. 2-1 the count. Now here's the set and the pitch. Upstairs, 3 balls and a strike. T. Girdman is on deck. Now here's a pitch from Mauk. Swing and a foul. That will end the line for the starting pitcher, Camden Whaler. He goes 2 1/3. Allows 5 hits, 9 runs all earned. Walked 4, didn't strike anybody out. Here's the 3-2 pitch coming from Mauk. And the pitch, he missed. Ball 4, Johnson draws the walk.
That'll bring up the extra hitter, number 9.
That'll bring up Teague Erdman, the extra hitter in the lineup. He's 0 for 1. He grounded out to third. It did score a run, so he gets credit for a run batted in. Here's a pitch, misses up, ball 1. Jager Jordheim in the top of the order is on deck. Here's a pitch for Mauk. Swing and a foul. Good old hack there by T. Girdman. 1-1. Now here's a 1-1 set and the pitch. Swing and a drive. Center field, Spinks goes back and he can't get it. It's over his head. That'll be extra bases for Erdman. Johnson is waved around third base. He'll come around to score on the RBI double by T. Erdman, his second run batted in of the ball game. Johnson scores. It's 11-3, 6 runs in the bottom of the third inning for the Vikings.
Number 18,
Jager Jordheim steps up. He's 1 for 2, a single and a run scored, and he lined out to center. Takes strike 1. And the pitch. Upstairs, 1 ball and 1 strike. Teague hit it hard. Spinks had a pretty decent jump on it, but that ball just kept carrying. The wind is blowing out that way. Here's a pitch. Upstairs again. 2 balls and a strike. Connor Mauk, number 25, on to pitch for the Hurricanes. Here's a swing and a miss. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Now here's a pitch. Fastball in the dirt. That's going to skip away. Erdman is going to reach third base on the wild pitch. Two balls and two strikes to Jagger Jordheim. Now the pitch, swing and a miss. He got him. They'll have to throw down to first base to get the out. And he does so and records the out. It's a strikeout for Jordheim. That ends the inning. Vikings do, however, come up with 6 runs in the bottom of the third. And at the end of 3 innings, it's 11-3 in favor of the Vikings on yourliveevent.com.
Halstead Telephone Company delivers fast broadband internet, telephone, and cable TV to residents in this region, including Halstead, Shelley, Neillsville, Climax, Fisher, Bigland, Gentilly in Minnesota, and Hillsborough, Caledonia, Gardner, and Argosville, North Dakota. Serving the area residents since 1904, Halstead Telephone continues to create a bright future for this region using 100% fiber optic technology. Service plans offer flexibility and choices, and there's local support personnel ready to help. Contact Halstead Telephone Company today.
Welcome back, everybody, to Varsity Field in Kindred, where we're hosting Hankinson Hurricanes in the second game of a doubleheader, and Vikings are up right now 11-3.
We have some defensive changes for you. Derek Stone pitches 3 innings. He'll leave the mound and head out to right field. Jacob Lindemann will move from right field into second base. Beckett Westby will move from second base over to shortstop. And the new pitcher, the starting shortstop, number 16, Bristol Swanson. That'll end the line for Derek Stone. He goes 3 innings, allows 1 hit, 3 runs, 2 earned, walked 6 and struck out 4 Hurricanes. Bristol Swanson, the right-hander, on to pitch. Kindred Vikings lead it by a score of 11-3. For the Hurricanes, 3 runs, 1 hit, no errors. Vikings, 11 runs, 6 hits, and 1 error.
And while we have a couple minutes here, I want to remind everybody this year, the State Babe Ruth Tournament happens July 25th in Lemoore. So our guys will hopefully head over there. And then Class A State for Legion happens July 31st through the August 4th in Castleton. Castleton hosts that Legion tournament this year. But these Babe Ruth guys trying to head to the State Babe Ruth Tournament July 25th in Lemoore.
Bristol Swanson on to pitch. He'll face the top of the order. It's Zane Hentz, Jacob Wallach, and Tyson Falk. Hentz has drawn a couple of walks in his plate appearances today. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Fastball up, 2 balls and no strikes. Bristol Swanson, the right-hander, throws out of the full windup, rocks and fires. Fastball is up. 3 balls and no strikes. Now here's the 3-0. Fastball. Down low, he walked him. Hentz draws his 3rd walk of the ball game. That'll bring up Jacob Wallach. He's 0 for 1 officially, grounded out to second and had a nice sacrifice bunt back in the second inning. Here's a set by Swanson. And he kicks and fires. Fastball in the dirt, blocked nicely by Briar Gibbon. 1-0 the count. Now here's a 1-0 set, and the pitch, fastball up. 2 balls and no strikes. 6 balls thrown. by Swanson to start things here in the top of the fourth. Now here's a pitch. Fastball in there for a strike. Sometimes it just takes that first one to get things going.
Yeah, shake a few nerves off, I would assume.
Here's a 2-1 set, and the pitch, fastball away and in the dirt. 3 balls and a strike. Derek Stone, the starting pitcher, only allowed the 1 hit in the 2 earned runs. Did walk 6 batters, but he did strike out 4 over the 3 innings. Here's a 3-1 pitch. Misses inside. Ball 4. Runners on first and second. Nobody out. Tyson Falk steps to the plate. He had an RBI single in the first, stole a couple of bases, and scored a run. Then in the second inning, he grounded out to second. Here's the set and the pitch. Fastball in there for a strike. Now here's the set and the 0-1. Fastball swinging a foul. Down the first base line and out of play. Kind of in a golf cart row down the first base line, out of play.
Yeah, well, and some of those foul balls are going even further back than that, where we have some construction going on, so the kids don't get to go there to get their foul balls, but if it's in a place where they can retrieve it.
It's a breaking ball in the dirt. Gets away from the catcher, Gibbon. Does try to make a throw down, but the runners move up on the wild pitch.
Yeah, so if the kids can run and get a foul ball, they can take it to concession stand and get a little treat. But if it goes into that construction zone, they're kind of tough luck.
Here's the 1-2 by Swanson. Fastball grounded sharply over towards second, and it skips through the wickets of Jacob Lindemann and into right field. That'll score a run. It'll be an error. Be a run batted in. I think Hentz would have scored anyway. Jacob Wallach moves over to third base. So Falk reaches on the air. Runners on first and third. 11-4 now in favor of the Vikings. And that brings up Camden Spinks. He's been hit by a pitch and scored a run, and he walked. Here's the pitch. Runner goes. Pitch is down. No throw, as Falk will steal second base easily. Tough pitch to handle for the catcher, Gibbon. It was a breaking ball down. Here's a 1-0 set by Swanson. Fastball swinging a pop foul. Strike 1. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Yeah, the kids will be able to get that one. A couple of them running over there.
Here's a 1-1 pitch. Off speed. Misses inside. 2 balls and a strike. Looks like the bottom of the 8th in Detroit. The Minnesota Twins on top of the Tigers, 4-0. Tigers batting. Here's a 2-1 set by Swanson. Fastball popped in the air, left side of the infield. Isaac Johnson, he calls for it, and he makes the catch. Pop up to the third baseman, and there's 1 away. Damon Mauck steps to the plate. He's the shortstop. He's walked and grounded out. 0 for 1. 11-4 lead for the Kindred Vikings over the Hankinson Hurricanes. And here's a pitch, off speed, in the dirt. It's going to skip away from the catcher. It's going to score a run. Another wild pitch as Wallach comes across to score. $11-5 now.
Yeah, Coach Eggman encouraging Bristol to get it going, focus up. Throw some strikes here.
Here's a 1-0 set, and the pitch, fastball in there for a strike. And here's the 1-1 and the pitch. Fastball is up. 2 balls and a strike. And now the 2-1 from Bristol Swanson. Breaking ball in there for a strike. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Connor Falk is on deck. He's walked a couple of times. Here's a 2-2 set. And the pitch. Fastball down low. Skips away, but not far enough. Breyer did a nice job of blocking that one. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Now here's a 3-2. And the pitch. Fastball, swing, and a foul. Chopped at the plate. 5 runs, 1 hit, no errors for the Hurricanes. Vikings, 11 runs, 6 hits, and 2 errors. Now here's the pitch from Swanson. Fastball. Outside, he walked him. Puts runners at first and third, and that'll bring up Connor Falk. He's walked twice. Breyer Gibbon, the catcher, going through a series of signs. Let's see how the Hurricanes play this. Do they send that runner in motion, try to get that run home from third base? Here's a set by Bristol Swanson. Runner does go, swing and a miss, throw down to third base, will skip into left field, and that's going to score a run. It'll be a stolen base for Mauk of second base, and Tyson Falk is going to come across and score the 6th run for the Hurricanes. Third this inning. That's going to be an error on the Vikings and on the catcher, Breyer Gibbon. 3 runs scored this inning for the Hurricanes. 11-6 score. Here's a set. And the pitch for Swanson. Swing and a miss. No balls and 2 strikes. That was number 7, Gage Coomer, the batter. He strikes out for the 2nd out of the inning. First strikeout for Swanson. That'll bring up Sawyer Paulson, the catcher. Number 11, pinch hitting. Isaiah Hentz will come to the plate. And here's a pitch from Swanson. Fastball, swing and a foul. Good hack there by Isaiah Hentz. Sawyer Paulson was 0 for 2 with a couple of strikeouts. Isaiah Hentz, the batter. Here's the set and the pitch. Fastball, swing and a miss, strike 2. No balls and 2 strikes. Bristol Swanson, the right-handed pitcher, looks on, checks the runner back to second, kicks and fires. Fastball, swing and a foul. Into the screen, no balls and 2 strikes. Now here's the 0-2 set by Swanson. Fastball on the outside part of the plate. He struck him out. 2 strikeouts in a row for Bristol Swanson. That ends the inning. However, the Hurricanes come up with 3 runs Without the benefit of a hit, there were a couple of errors and one runner left on base. At the end of 3.5, Kindred Vikings lead it 11-6 on yourliveevent.com.
For any accounting needs you may have, Todd R. World Certified Public Accountant has you covered. From income tax planning, preparation, and consulting for individuals and businesses. Todd Wold CPA would like to wish the best to the teams competing and thank the coaches and players for their hard work and dedication throughout the season on and off the field, as anything can happen every night at the Diamond. For more information, go online to wold-cpa.com. That's wold-cpa.com. Stay up to date all year long with your live event from our social platforms with X, Facebook, and YouTube. From the latest coaches show to watch game broadcasts back on demand from earlier in the season. Search your live event on YouTube and hit subscribe.
Outside the three-point arc. Pick and pop here with Spaeth into the left side corner. Three, good.
For the complete and most up-to-date schedule throughout the year, head to our website at yourliveevent.com.
Kindred Vikings will send the 2, 3, and 4 hitters to bat against Connor Mauk for the Hurricanes. For the Vikings, it'll be Beckett Westby, Bristol Swanson, and Briar Gibbon. I'm Mike Bernier along with Wendy.
Good evening.
Bringing you Babe Ruth baseball. Live from Kindred Varsity Field. Kindred Vikings lead this one by a score of 11-6. Hurricanes do have 6 runs with 1 hit. No errors for them. Vikings with 11 runs, 6 hits, and 3 errors. Beckett Westby steps to the plate. He started off the 3rd inning with a walk, stole a couple of bases, and came across to score. Now here's a pitch from Mauk, takes a ball. Westby led off the 3rd inning as well. The Vikings batted around with 10 men batting. They have 10 men in the lineup tonight with the extra hitter. Here's a 1-0 pitch. Upstairs, 2 balls and no strikes. Second game of a doubleheader. Kindred Vikings win the first one by a score of 15-0. Up in this one as well by a score of 11-6. Here's a 2-0 pitch. Fastball up, 3 balls and no strikes. Here's a pitch, swinging and a ground ball on the right side of the infield. Falk has it, throws over to Mauk. I didn't quite see it.
Well, he was kind of far off the base, so the throw, he had to get off the base to reach it.
So Westby will reach on the error. First error for the Hurricanes. There's a line drive, base hit into right field for Bristol Swanson. Westby stops at second base. An opposite field single for Bristol Swanson. Puts runners at first and second with nobody out. And that brings up Briar Gibbon.
Number 20, Briar Gibbon.
And here's the set and the pitch. Fastball is outside. 1 ball and no strikes.
And now the sun has gone behind everything. We got a nice, no more long shadows and brightness.
Here's a 1-0 set, and the delivery is down low and in the dirt. It's going to skip away from the catcher. Westby's going to move up to third base. Swanson up to second on the wild pitch. Ten-run rule could be in effect. Vikings would have to put up 5 runs for that to happen. Pitch is inside, and it catches Briar Gibbon on the jersey, so that'll be a hit batter. Not really sure you could call it a hit batter. It's really more of a hit shirt. But he does get first base, so if it hits the clothing, goes down as a hit batter. Loads up the bases for Anders Huseman. He's 1 for 2. He grounded out and had an RBI single. He also scored a run, threw in a stolen base. 11-6 lead for the Vikings.
Yeah, we might be hearing some thunder. I'm pulling up the radar, and it looks like, maybe around 10:30 tonight or so. Might get a little more rain coming through. About 11 o'clock or so. A few thunderstorms rolling in this evening late.
Here's a pitch to Huseman. He fouls it away. 2 balls and a strike. Jacob Lindemann is on deck. Connor Mauk, the right-hander, rocks and fires. Fastball way up. 3 balls and a strike. Nowhere to put him. Bases are loaded. Westby reached on an error. Then there was a single by Swanson. Then a hit batter by Gibbon. And now Anders Huseman draws a walk. That scores Westby his 3rd run of the ball game. Swanson over to 3rd. Gibbon up to 2nd base. An RBI walk for Anders Huseman. Makes it 12-6. In favor of the Vikings, Jacob Lindemann steps up. 0 for 1. Grounded out and walked in the 3rd. He did come around to score. 12-6 lead for the Kindred Vikings. Now here's the 0-1. Fastball. Nice stop by the catcher.
And while we can, we should give another shout out to the Kindred kids, our Vikings, with the FFA. FFA kids went over and helped out our neighbors over in Enderlin clean up some of the debris and mess after the last storms went through. So good job, Vikings. And Kindred FFA went over there and helped our neighbors clean up a little bit.
Here's a 2-1 pitch outside and in the dirt. 3 balls and a strike. Derek Stone is on deck. Jake Lindemann started in right field. He's now the 2nd baseman. Here's the pitch. He missed high. Ball 4. Another RBI walk for the Vikings. Bristol Swanson comes in to score. Gibbon to 3rd. Anders up to 2nd. Bases still loaded. 13-6 now for the Vikings. Here's Derek Stone, takes ball 1. He was a starting pitcher. He flew out to center in the 2nd inning, and he walked in the 3rd and came around to score. Here's a 1-0. Derek Stone batting way up in the batter's box. It takes a little bit of a step back. Now here's a 2-0 in the dirt. That should score a run. Pitcher not covering. Briar Gibbon comes across to score. Huseman to 3rd. Lindemann to 2nd. 14-6 in favor of the Vikings. 3-0 the count. I'm guessing Derek Stone has the old green light here. He won't get a strike. He'll take ball 4. Head on down to 1st. Eli Mack steps to the plate.
First baseman, number 24,
Eli Mack steps up. A single in the 2nd. Scored a run. Flew out to center. Here's a fly ball into deep left center field, and it's in the gap. And this is going to end the ball game on a 2-run double for Eli Mack.
Eli Mack with a 2-run.
Huseman scores. Jake Lindemann scores.
16-6 Vikings.
2-run double for Eli Mack. And the Kindred Vikings win this one by a score of 16-6 on a walk-off 2-run double for the 10-run rule. And the Vikings win the 2nd game of this doubleheader by a score of 16-6 after winning the first one by a score of 15-0.
And we'll be back right after this break with the Todd Wold CPA post-game show. For any accounting requisitions from income tax planning, preparation, and consulting for individuals or businesses, go online to wold-cpa.com.
Homegrown local radio is now worldwide with 24-hour streaming. Download the RJ Radio app to hear local voices from local radio with KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ 24 hours a day from anywhere. You can listen to your favorite programs like the RJ Family Morning Show, local news, farm markets, music, high school sports, church services, more from anywhere. KRJB, KRJM, and 96.7 KKCQ is streaming on the RJ Radio app. Download it to your device and take us with you wherever you go.
Keep your car moving along with the team at Elite Automotive Center in Fargo. What sets Elite Automotive Center apart from the herd is their truly extensive list of services. From brake and tire service to tune-ups and battery replacement, there's no job too big or small for their ASE certified technicians. Schedule your next oil change by going to EliteAutomotiveCenter.com or scan the QR code on your screen now. Never settle for standard service. Stop by Elite Automotive Center today in Fargo.
At Enbridge, we're focused on relationships. 23 Canadian First Nation and Métis communities now own an equity stake in Enbridge Athabasca Pipelines. In Minnesota, Enbridge has spent $450 million and counting with Native-owned companies and in wages to tribal members working on Line 3. Every day brings new collaborations, partnerships, and possibilities. Learn more at Enbridge.com.
Express Lane Marathon in Kindred is your neighborhood convenience store where convenience meets quality, whether you're fueling up with Marathon's top-tier fuel or grabbing a quick snack. Express Lane has you covered. From hot stuff pizza, smash hit subs, premium soft serve ice cream, gas, diesel, and propane exchange. Make sure to use your Marathon app and get 7 cents back per gallon all summer long. Now offering premium 91 non-ethanol fuel. Express Lane is your friendly and locally owned convenience store.
And we're back with the HTC connection of the game.
HTC, discover local reliability you can trust. Halstead Phone Company, it's how to connect. HalsteadTel.com.
And that is going to be none other than Eli Mack going into the bottom of the 5th inning, and the Kindred Vikings wanted to get that 10-run rule win, and Eli Mack ropes a 2-run double into the gap, scores a couple of runs, and the Kindred Vikings win this one by a score of 16-6. And we'll take a quick break here as we come back with the player of the game.
Yeah, the Enbridge player of the game. Life takes energy. Enbridge, energy for life. Enbridge.com for career opportunities.
Buying, selling, or leasing commercial real estate or farmland in the Fargo-Moorhead and surrounding area? From office to retail, industrial to multifamily, commercial land to farmland. As the #1 commercial, sales, and leasing brokerage in the FM region, Goldmark Commercial has the experience and skills to handle all of your commercial real estate and farmland needs with the highest levels of customer service and marketing around. Trust the experts at Goldmark Commercial Real Estate to lead your team to success.
Everything's cool. And we're back, Kindred Vikings, and we have our player of the game. Earlier this week, or actually late last week, Derek Stone, you had a head injury. You got hit in the back of the head with a baseball, and taken in and taken a look at. How did everything go when you were getting checked out?
So I went in after I got hit, maybe 3 innings into the game. I just went to the walk-in. The doctor didn't even really do that many exams. He just said, yeah, I probably have a concussion. I should take it easy and then schedule something with the concussion clinic, and I have that on Tuesday. But it was pretty bad. I couldn't really play or do much of anything. I was just so tired, and then it got better, and then I started going to practices, and everything started to feel better. So then I said, hey, I can play on Wednesday, and then he said, take it easy. We can put you in on Friday. So then I came out, and I, tried to do my best, but.
Excellent. You came out and you DH'd in the first game, and you popped up a couple of times, but then you lace a double down the right field line to drive in a run. How did it feel at the plate, and how did it feel getting back out in the field?
Well, for the first 2, I swung at the first 2 pitches. I really wanted to hit the ball hard because it's been a while. And that last one, I was just thinking make contact, try to get on base, and then worked out.
So for this game, we win it by a score of 16-6. You were the starting pitcher. So you come back from concussion symptoms, and you were the starting pitcher. You went 3 innings. You only allowed the 1 hit, but only 2 earned runs allowed, and you pick up the victory for the team in the second game of this doubleheader. So how did it feel out of the mound?
Well, obviously, I got my pitch count up pretty high. I think it was 38 for the first inning, so I wasn't too happy about that. But then after that, I just went out there, tried to not walk as many people, throw as many strikes, and I kept it kind of down. But yeah, I was pretty mad after the first one, but I tried to compose myself, make sure, my emotions didn't get the best of me, and just go out there and play.
Well, you kept your composure, and you come back, and you are the Enbridge player of the game, so congratulations. You pick up the win in the second game of the doubleheader. Any shout-outs you want to do?
Shout out Isaac and Eldon Johnson. I like Eldon's music, and I love Isaac a lot, so thank you.
Awesome. Congratulations on the player of the game.
Thank you.
We'll take a quick break, and we'll come back for a quick recap on the Todd Wold CPA postgame show.
Green Earth Landscaping offers a full range of services, including commercial and residential landscape design and installation, maintenance and sprinkler services. From outdoor kitchens to patios, retaining walls, lighting, fine grade, sod and hydroseed, and anything in between, Green Earth Landscaping has you covered, servicing the Fargo-Moorhead area and beyond. For more information, go online to greenearthnd.com. That's greenearthnd.com.
And here we are in the Todd Wold CPA postgame show. A quick recap of the ball game. First of all, the Kindred Vikings win the first one by a score of 15-0. That was a counter game. In the second 5-inning game, the Kindred Vikings 10-run rule the Hankinson Hurricanes again by a score of 16-6 in the second game. Offensive performances for the Vikings. Jordheim had a hit and a run scored. Bristol Swanson was 2 for 3 with 2 runs scored and a run batted in. Anders Huseman was 1 for 2 with 2 runs scored and 2 RBIs. And Eli Mack 2 for 3 with a run scored and 2 runs batted in. Isaac Johnson 1 for 1, 2 runs scored and a run batted in. T. Girdman had a double and 2 runs batted in. Derek Stone picks up the win. He goes 3 innings, allows 1 hit, just the 2 earned runs. Did walk 6, but struck out 4, and he's our Enbridge player of the game. Bristol Swanson pitched the last inning, allowed 3 runs, only 1 earned, walked 3, and struck out 2. So that recaps this ball game. Kindred Vikings win it 16-6.
And there will be more Babe Ruth baseball if you'd like to watch some more on Monday. They will be at Valley City, and then you can follow them there. And Tuesday they'll be back here for an early game versus Thompson. There'll be a home game at 11 o'clock and 1:15 because they have to make way for Legion A plays that night as well against Wahpeton will be in town. So you can go on the road with them at Valley City on Monday and watch them, or come here to Kindred and watch them play Thompson in the morning. And then Legion B later that evening against Wahpeton. So lots of baseball to go.
Yeah, lots of baseball to play this year, and that'll end our broadcast here live from Kindred Fields. So the Vikings win it by a score of 16-6 in the second game. Have a great night, everybody. Thank you for watching.